We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, whoa! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome on to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com, and of course, SideScrollersPodcast.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Thursday to you, man. Are you having a good day? You are? Oh, that's great to see. Oh, that's awesome to hear. We have a big show for you guys playing today. Lots to talk about. Kind of changing things up a little bit. Got a bunch of quick hits. Then we got a big reactionary video we want to take a look at towards the tail end of the show. But first and foremost, let's welcome in the girl who didn't know who Maury Povich was before about 20 minutes ago, Blabs.
That is factually incorrect. I found out yesterday, so 24 hours ago.
Oh, okay. Well, now we know. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
a little bit better.
Yes, that's great, Blabs. Maury Povich is a god amongst men, and we'll get to that in a little bit because Maury Povich will play a pivotal part of today's show. So, what?
You said the word pivot, and I forgot to add something to StreamYards. I did something for you.
Did you see Blabs' face?
Where is it? Where did I put it?
I don't know.
Aha, here it is. Don't
A
worry,
pivotal
I got this.
part of today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, Maury Povich will play a pivotal part.
Wait, it's
of today's
loading.
show.
It's loading. Hang on.
There you go. Excellent. Thank you. God damn. We're awesome. This is why we're number one, Blabs. You get it? This is why we're number
Yeah.
one. Way to go. Speaking of number one, always in our hearts, that crazy crazy lady. We're so glad she's here. Hey, Kirsche, good to see you.
Hello, good morning. I woke up early to be here.
Thank you. Thank you as always. I know this lunchtime slot is tough for a lot of people in the gaming space, but
Oh my god, it is. You guys are just like, we're going to teach gamers to wake up early and have a balanced breakfast, and all of us are just like undead zombies.
a balanced breakfast at lunchtime. Let's go.
Exactly. Also, how do you not know who Maury Povich is?
I don't know. Maybe I've seen him like years ago without knowing his name, but yeah.
Do you know Jerry Springer?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, same concept. And then there's the third one, the guy that like just breaks chairs when he gets angry.
Give him the chair.
Yeah, I don't even know his name. I just know him as the angry chair guy, who's the same as the other two.
The guy who break chairs? What?
Yeah, like they'll do like the paternity test and stuff, but like when one of the people on the stage is getting uppity, he'll just like pick up a chair and he'll break it and yell at them.
I don't know if I'm aware of that one. I don't know if I'm aware of that one, but
Oh, Steve Wilkos. Chat knew who he was.
Okay. Chat always knows. Undefeated, guys. You're undefeated, which is great. Well, look, we are undefeated because, like I said, we got a big show for you guys. So stick around with us when you're like, hey, I gotta go. No, you don't. Give us like 5 extra minutes. Just hang out with us a little bit longer. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join the 116,000, nearly 117,000, just normal men who have found common sense in the video game space. And hit the thumbs up button. Yesterday, we had a severe lacking of thumbs up. We would like for you to thumb up the video now. So we'd greatly appreciate that.
You're being ableist to your viewers who don't have thumbs?
Yes, we are. Get your fucking thumbs up, all right? We are the most ableist show on YouTube, all right? We will make sure that if you don't have a thumb, you will find a thumb. But we have a couple things we wanted to fill you guys in on before we dilly our toes in the ocean's water of content today. That we have, a few things coming up on March 3rd. That is about 1.5 weeks from now. That's a Monday. We are going to be rolling out our year 3 plan. So I made this graphic in about 30 seconds. So there you go. Side Scrollers Year 3. We're launching it. Get it on 3/3. You see how it is? Let's see how it lines up perfectly on March 1st.
It's very
And you
creative.
took 30 seconds to make it, so you're like, it's topical.
That's right. And we're going 3 hours that day. So all the threes are wild. So it's going to be great. So
And there's going to be 3 of us in your room.
That's right, because guess what? Blabs is going to be here. Phoenix is going to be here. We're going to be doing the show right here.
I'm going to stick me on the floor and be like, that's where you belong with the dogs.
Bowser is just hanging out right here.
And you don't have a dog camera set up?
You want me to
just
dog cam
please
real
me.
quick?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll call into the show real fast and with my dog cam, so we can see Bowser just laying out. He's very tired and sleepy today. But Blabs, while I'm doing that, how about you fill everybody in on because over on SidescrollersPodcast.com, which play a very big role of what we have going on coming up in year 3, you actually have something up over there, some exclusive content.
Yeah, so guys, Jose Ramirez dropped by and he made a little vlog for all of you guys on some behind the scenes stuff for work. So if you want to go see it, please consider signing up to Locals or sidescrollers.com. Yeah, be over there. And
Not sidescrollers.com. We don't own that domain. We own sidescrollerspodcast.com.
That one.
That's right.
And by the way, there are no cats. I don't have cats, but I just really like the cats.
Jose Ramirez has cats.
Jose does have cats.
That's right. All right. So we hold on. Bowser is hanging out. He is laying down. And let me see if I can get Bowser Cam going real fast because I know how important you are. Oh, jeez.
Oh, there's 2 of you.
I know.
This is getting out of hand, and now there are 2 of them.
Double the Craig, double the underwater microphone.
See my fan and everything. Oh, no.
He has a full room. It's not just a chair.
Take me off. Take me off. Oh, I know.
That was so feminine.
Oh, let's see. Front camera and back camera. There we go. Oh, Bowser.
Okay, we can do it now. Oh my god, he's so
Aw.
cute.
Bowser.
Fluffy doggo.
Bowser. Hey,
Aw.
buddy. Hey, big guy. I know.
Oh, yeah, I'm snuggling with him.
He's
Look
old.
at that old man.
He's an old man. He's almost 15 years old. He's such a sweet, sweet boy.
Oh my god, he's like the same age as my roommate's dog.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a tough guy. He's struggling right now, but hopefully he'll make it to when Blabs gets here in a few weeks.
Yeah, I want to see him. He's adorable.
All right, well, there you go, Bowser. There you go.
Oh.
You know, he's so sweet.
You need to give him a bed. He's a little prince. Give him a bed.
Give him a prince bed. All right, am I gone? Okay, good.
Well, I
All right, there
kicked
go.
you. You're still kind of there, but I'll just
Okay.
I'll just
All right. Bowser Cam. Maybe we can yeah, thank you for that. Maybe we can set up a full-time Bowser Cam in the future. We'll see how long that lasts. He's like I said, he's struggling.
We did that once, and then you never did it again. I was most disappointed in you.
That's true. All right, we always like to start off the show with talking about video games because, hey, we love ourselves some video games here. Let's talk about it. What today in video game history, Blaz? What do we got?
Okie dokies. February 20th, everybody. We have Contra was released in Japan in 1987. Woo! We have Sonic and the Secret Rings released in 2007. And then 1 year old today is Balatro. Yay!
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I did not hear anything about Balatro until the Video Game Awards. Like I had to second guess myself. I was like, did that really come out a year ago? I didn't hear anything until the end of last year about that game.
I agree. It was one of those things that the Access Media turned into a thing really quick. Nobody heard about it.
I guess so.
Then all of a sudden happened. Well, Blabs, you mentioned Contra. That was in Japan. It was released in the arcade, which the arcade game not as good as the home port.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Yeah, that was pretty good though. Blabs, you may be interested to know that 24 years ago in 2001, Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers was released
I don't like
for the Game Boy
Scooby-Doo.
Color.
What?
Uh-oh.
Are you even real? Who doesn't like Scooby-Doo?
I think it's really stupid, and also my parents didn't let me watch it when I was a kid because they were like, "That's brain rot."
Oh, that's what my mama said about The Simpsons.
My
wife-
mom also said that about SpongeBob, and to this day, I still think it's so incredibly stupid. Every time I see bits of it, I'm like, my brain.
My dad loved SpongeBob. His favorite character was Squidward.
My wife got the Simpsons treatment as well from her parents. They're like, "This, you can't watch this. This is sacrilegious." And I've introduced my kids to it now, and like it's so tame. It's so tame in comparison to some of the nonsense. It's just like Bart says hell every once in a while. It's like, ooh, you know. So
a different time.
Different time for sure. Other games that you missed today, Blabs, include Fight Night Round 3 for the PlayStation 2 in 2006. A lot of people love Fight Night Round 3, which was a good one. Crackdown. Remember Crackdown? No, nobody does.
No.
2007, 18 years ago for the Xbox 360. That was a killer app back in 2007, man. NBA Street Home Court with Carmelo Anthony on the box. Nobody cares. Kirby and the Rainbow.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Carmelo, he will be an NBA Hall of Famer, but
his first name sounds like a dessert at like a middle-class Italian restaurant.
No, he sounds like a detective. Did you even get the name right, Craig? Like, are you reading it correctly?
Yes, Carmelo. Yes.
Well, I just want to make sure here. I don't know. You can't read. It's well established. So.
Blabs. He's one of the most famous basketball players of his era.
Wait, didn't you just agree with me with who is he?
Well, no, listen. I think he's one of the most famous I also think he's one of the most overrated basketball players of his era. So that's just me. Anyways,
I've never heard of him. Is he black?
Kirsche.
What? Well, I mean, I know most basketball players are, but
How
like,
do we leave?
I'm trying to build a mental image of what this Carmelo man looks like.
What does this Carmelo man look like? Yeah, okay. Let me pull up Carmelo Anthony for you, just so we're all on the same page of what Carmelo Anthony looks like. Is Carmelo Anthony black?
For 500.
Yes.
I was like, you know, as a basketball player, I have a 95% chance of being right when I ask that question, but still.
Carmelo Anthony is indeed black.
Oh, he does not look like a delicious Italian restaurant dessert.
No, he doesn't. No. But he was all swaggy in the early 2000s and stuff. So there's
Do you know what swag stands for?
He looks like a Grand Theft Auto character.
I mean, she's not wrong.
What, Blabs? What does swag stand for?
Swag stands for secretly we are gay.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Swag stands for secretly we are gay.
I haven't heard that since I was a teenager.
Yeah. Craig learns today.
All right. Thank you for that.
You didn't know?
No, it's the first time I've heard that swag means secretly we are gay.
Yeah, it explains so much.
It's in the prisons.
Okay,
The
sounds
prison
good.
system. There's so many black men on the down low. You know, it makes sense.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we learn a little bit every day, and we're glad you're here. We're here to educate you and inform you as best we possibly can about swag and
Do you have
Carmelo
something you want to
Anthony.
share, Craig?
No, not at all. Oh, you know what else was released today, Blabs?
What?
This is actually, yeah. The Order 1888 was released 10 years ago. Man, anybody who was around that time, they know The Order 1888. It was like this. It was almost like a full motion video. It looked really good, but it lacked substance, as they say. I can't believe I missed that one. So, anyways, yeah, it was very swaggy. If you say maybe now, whenever we're late, people go, it was late and swaggy. That's what they'll say, which is good. Hey, Ruddy came in, who's super swaggy. He says Amazon now controls the James Bond movies. I expect to see Zendaya as the next Bond girl. Zendaya. And Cynthia Erivo as James
Cynthia
Bond.
Erivo. We literally talked about her yesterday. The Bond
I don't know
bitch.
who that is, but can you be
She's
James
Elphaba.
Bond as a fish?
As a fish.
Yeah, isn't she the fish lady who played the Little Mermaid?
No,
No,
Cynthia Erivo is
No, Zendaya.
Elphaba. Zendaya is
Oh.
like Mary Jane in the new Spider-Man movies.
Oh,
Tom
I don't
Holland's
watch. I don't
woman.
watch superhero stuff.
00700
She's also in Euphoria.
gender.
She's the chick from Dune.
Nice.
Zachary.
Zachary.
Who's the Little Mermaid lady?
Isn't like Halle Berry?
Oh,
No,
I
it's
okay.
keep getting
Halle
Halle Berry and Halle Bailey or whatever the hell they are. Like I keep swapping their names. It's the ugly one of the two.
Yeah, I
One's
was
the
gonna say,
hot.
one is a fish and one was Catwoman.
One is the hot Storm actress and the other one's like subpar.
Zachary came in with the $20 super chat. Our first Montez super of the day. We're going for 10 orange super chats today. Let's see if we can get that to see if we can find Montez do his Montez slam. And Kirsche can pick where Montez does that. It says Montez. Always great to have Foxu on side strollers. Nice dog, Craig. In true Southern fashion, we've shut down everything for an inch or two of snow. So I get to sit and watch the show at home today. Let's go, Zachary. And I see you up there busting a cap with your at the range down there in your avatar. Very nice, Zachary. Make sure you're shooting at targets, not people. Dirtus King came in with a 20. That puts us at 2. Says, the new Kirsche hadn't played Fire Emblem, but has Craig or Blabs played one of the only story that says story-focused Nintendo franchise. Nintendo, maybe iron-fisted Diamos. Blabs, please fucking
What are you
read.
putting grammar in where grammar does not exist?
He's trying to read the ESL. It's okay. I am fluent in ESL. This man says, I know Kirsche hasn't played Fire Emblem, but Craig or Blabs played one of the only story-focused Nintendo franchises. Nintendo may be an iron-fisted daimyo, but they make Fire Emblem, Legend of Zelda, and more.
That's right, kids. That's right.
Are you right? Like, you look lost?
I'm trying to read that. I got to get my fucking glass. Hold on.
It's okay. Grandpa's confused. He didn't have his Cheerios this morning.
Okay, bye. The question, I have not. There you go. Well, we're just gonna move on from that, I guess. 'Cause Craig just left and we can't even answer it anymore.
I'm sorry, DRT is king.
Oh, wait, here he is. He's back now.
Here
I'll
he
give him a
is.
second. Since you sent a 20, I feel like it's justified. Craig, hurry up, old man. There you are.
What?
Answer the question.
What?
Have you played Fire Emblem, Craigathy?
No, I haven't.
Craigathy?
No.
I prefer Craigette.
No, I have
Oh
not.
my God.
How dare you, Blabs?
Why? It fits.
Corrigan says, so Jeremy is swag. Makes sense now. Also, love you, Foxu lady. You're the best living green text to date. Hail and Montez.
Montez!
Thanks, Corrigan. Appreciate that greatly. That's awesome. Also, Argon. Wait.
Ah!
Long
Argan,
live.
other name, bro.
Oh, I wasn't gonna help him.
For
Long-
$9.99. That's a dollar sign, by the way. Just can't fucking read that one either.
The glasses are helping here, Blabs. The
Are
dyslexia
you
is
sure,
not.
man?
Yeah.
You're just
Long live
stroking
the
your
false.
chin.
The false life deceivers.
Oh yes, join the cult of Saturnalia.
Anthony, not Carmelo, says, yay, it's the Blabs and Kirsche show with guest Craig. That's right.
We'd love our guest, Craig.
Yeah.
I'm just here to read and
You sure?
facilitate. Yeah. Emperor Creatine says, just when I thought we couldn't win any harder, it was announced the Orange Man is planning to abolish the IRS. I was concerned about
Oh God, I love the thought of the IRS no longer existing. Apparently there was an entire Reddit thread of IRS employees not knowing that the general public absolutely fucking hated their guts, and they're all just like finding this out now that everyone's happy they're losing their jobs. And it's the funniest Reddit thread. I think Neon was the one who posted it
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Yeah, it's great.
I have a question for you, Kirsche. Are you edging over the IRS or something?
Oh my God, yes. That's why I sit on a towel.
God damn. Well, that's great. Anyways, yeah, that would be really cool. I think everybody is going to delay their IRS returns this year.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do it early, but then I was like, wait a little bit here.
I was concerned about it lasting longer than 4 hours, but now it's never going down. Thank
See,
you.
he's
Kirsche wants
edging
it to
too.
last. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Kirsche really wants it for 4 hours.
Nathan came in and says gamers are cruel. Of course they are when you're delivering a broken product with a boring gameplay, bad visuals, and awful story for $70. And that was before you started resorting to ad hominem. There you go. Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. John says, I believe in you, Craig. You're a smart boy. SMRT. Thank you, John. Appreciate your wonderful. Listen, reading has.
Hey,
nothing
Craig,
to
what's
do with
5 times 5?
25.
10!
Oh.
T1S says, Craig out here reading the super chats worse than Beardo. Listen, I was shamed into not wearing my glasses. You guys know this. I was shamed.
That's because you got lesbian glasses, bro.
What do you want, Blaz? My wife likes them. All right.
Well, if his wife likes his lesbian glasses, you know, we can't do anything about that.
No, but I do
Right,
question.
You do question what? My wife's a
Nothing.
lesbian? Is that what you're implying? My wife is a lesbian, Blabs?
She's living out her
not.
lesbian fantasies now.
Well, maybe in about 10 days when you're down here, you can ask her if she's a lesbian to her face.
Oh my god!
Like, how do you do, Mrs.? Are you a les?
Why don't you do that and see how well it turns
I don't
out
think
for
it'll
you?
go very well.
I think that'd be really great.
Hello, I'm meeting you for the first time. Are you a lesbian, miss?
Are you Lizzie the Lezzie?
Oh my god. All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment. Everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Always like to talk about fun things, with anniversaries to start the show, today in gaming history. This was a couple days ago, but we didn't quite have the right people to talk about this. Kirsche, have you ever seen the movie Heavyweights before?
No, I don't really watch movies. My audience makes fun of me all the time for it.
Okay. All right. Then today's not the day to talk about this because I need
Never the day.
I need somebody. We're skipping it. I need somebody to nerd out about heavyweights. All right. Heavyweights.
I am not the person to ask about movies.
It's the best. It's the best movie ever. It's so freaking funny, and it would never be made today because all they do in it is rag on fat kids. It's so funny. All right. We have another anniversary. Thank you, Ross. We have another anniversary today, and that actually is yesterday, but wanted to talk about it today. The greatness of Cherry Coke was introduced in 1985 on February 19th. Are you a fan of Cherry Coke and or Cherry Coke Zero?
Put me in the Coke. I'm the cherry.
No, actually, I don't really like cherry flavored stuff. It tastes like medicine.
Oh, man. What about you, Blabs?
Disgusting.
What is wrong with you women?
I agree with that
Taste
top
buds.
comment. Vanilla Coke is definitely better.
Listen, I don't disagree with you, but here's the thing. Back in my early 20s when Vanilla Coke first came out, I was like out on the streets like hawking it. I worked for Coca-Cola, so I'd go out and do these like road events and then be like, hey, have some Vanilla Coke. And I had way too many Vanilla Cokes. And it just totally ruined it for me.
I was a Pepsi Blue kind of girl, and I wish they didn't discontinue it. Like
Pepsi
I know,
Blue?
yeah, Pepsi Blue was like blue raspberry Pepsi. It was amazing. No, it wasn't like the dark Pepsi. It was like a light soda.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it super
It was
sweet?
delicious. It was like, have you had Mountain Dew Voltage?
I don't think so. I don't like those kind of things. I don't drink them.
Mountain Dew
I
Voltage.
like orange juice.
Orange juice is good without pulp. I'm not a pulp kind of person.
Ugh, pulp is nasty.
Yeah, fuck pulp.
Ugh.
But Mountain Dew Voltage is probably the closest you can get to what old Pepsi Blue tasted like, but it's still not quite the same. Pepsi Blue was peak, but it had, like dangerous dyes in it, so,
Blabs, Pepsi Blue was from 2002 to 2004.
Watch like Craig try to make me drink one from eBay and then I get sick.
Oh, it's
No,
this
no,
guy
no.
who threw up from the Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah. This guy had it and he tried to drink it. And
God, I love Pepsi Blue. Man, that bottle is so nostalgic. Fucking grabbing a few of those, coming home, playing Grand Theft Auto, man.
Oh man, I don't know if I'd do that, man. 19 years later. Wouldn't you want to savor the nostalgia if you were
The face of regret.
right, the instant regret on this guy?
He could send himself to the hospital.
No, it's just sugar water. That's all.
From
Question-
like 19 years later.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. Question for the
Cheerio.
chat: what is the best soda that doesn't exist today? That like it got discontinued at some point? Whether it's Mountain Dew something. There's a million Mountain Dews, right? And sometimes they do like little trial runs. The fact that Pepsi Blue only lasted 3 years, I feel like it lasted considerably longer than that.
Yeah, I thought it lasted way longer than that.
2002 to 2004. Yeah, so
That's crazy short. I know there was like some Southeast Asian country. I don't want to say the wrong one. I can't remember if it was like Malaysia or somewhere else, but they had Pepsi Blue up until like somewhere in the mid 2010s. Because I guess they just didn't have any sort of like restrictions on the harmful dyes or whatever, and so Pepsi just kept like pumping it out over there.
just pumping that shit out, man.
Yeah, they're just like, here, you guys can keep this.
Oh man. Well, we have good news, Kirsche. Bike Shorts has come in and volunteered to be Kirsche's new towel.
I get a new seat. Woohoo!
And Dave came in and says, food for thought, restaurant suggestions for Blabs when she hits DFW. Hard 8 Barbecue and Babe's Chicken, both on the list of places to go.
He's gonna try to make me eat everything, and I'm gonna just be like throwing up because that's too much food.
What is a DFW?
DFW is Dallas Fort Worth.
Oh.
That's the North Texas area.
I was thinking DSW like the shoe store.
No.
Oh.
DFW is Dallas Fort Worth. That's also known as the Metroplex here in the North
Is that a
Texas
mall?
area. No, it's the Metropolitan Pleximus. I don't know. It's just what it's been called forever. The Metroplex.
I don't know what it means. I just know that's what we call it.
What it's called. That's right. Scott came in with the 20. Says the Bond's name, James name's Bond name, and
Jesus.
the James Bond Bond having a stroke called a Bondulance. Fuck you,
UK?
Scott.
Did you make
No,
it?
I'm not. Corrigan says, I am Kirsche's towel. Living on the edge of Foxy Lady's chair is a labor-intensive job, but at least I have dental and a 401k. Montez!
I took him out of South Africa. I'm a new refugee program. Be my towel.
That's so sweet of you.
Kirsch's
Congratulations.
gonna start a new like organization. It's gonna be like BeMyTowel.org.
Well, I already apparently started that like false light bringers cult. Okay, I can't keep making new organizations.
Ryan came in with a 20. No message, just dropped it and left. Hey, thank you so much, Ryan.
Schmeat
Appreciate
smuggling
that.
across the border, man. Give me that baloney. But you guys haven't heard that story? People have been like illegally smuggling baloney across the Mexican-U.S. border.
I'm sorry, Blabs, can we just get a super cut of all the times Kirsche has grunted or moaned or said baloney or sausage today?
We already have a whole section called Kirsche's edging, so
You have a what?
hang on.
Make sure you turn in. This is a side scroller exclusive.
That's right. That's what we deliver on this show on a day-to-day basis. A side scroller exclusive. Dirt is King says, my old man is obsessed with a Halo Gamer Fuel Mountain Dew. It came back and I cleared out the Publix with Imperial Sugar. I would bring it back. Also, Craig lives on the Transformers Metroplex.
How did you auto-translate the word power to sugar?
What did I say? Power?
You said sugar. He said power.
With Imperial Sugar, I would bring it back.
I don't know. Listen, I'm bad at everything. It's okay. See, here's the thing. People know that if you like, eventually I'm going to give up and let Blabs read the super chats, right? But if you really want me to read your super, then you need to send it via direct donation. Like Swiggity Potato says, Heavyweights is one of my favorite movies. I'm disappointed, women. Lol. Glad to see the Foxu. Thank you very much. See, I have to read those because Blabs doesn't have access to those.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah. But thank you for that Swiggity Potato.
Swiggity potato.
Yes, potato. All right, man, we're kicking ass today. We're already at 9 of our 10 Montez goals. Let's keep going, keep it on. All right, but let's first stop down for to talk about a sloot, if you will, a sloot. Yes, a sloot who slept with 1,000 men. This is just the craziest damn story in the world. Did everyone?
I thought it was 100.
No, there's two. There's one woman who slept with over 1,000, and then there's one that slept with over 100. But they look the same, and they did it at the same time, and they came out with a pregnancy announcement at the same time. So, like, I'm still not convinced they're not the same person.
That's
Maybe
why I
they
kept
are.
getting confused at the same time.
Yo, me too.
Well, we got this from Bonnie Blue, known for sleeping with 1,054
That's
men.
disgusting.
This is 57, Craig.
Sorry, I didn't want to order.
7 scores. They're all the same, really.
1,000 at a certain
I'm going
point.
to accounting, okay?
Yeah, you do lose, count at some point. And under 24 hours, guess what? She's now pregnant. So there's that. Did anybody see that one coming? Do you think that somebody wasn't using protection that day, or maybe had the super cum that just kind of made its way through all the protection? What, Blabs?
Super cum? I mean, You learn something new every day.
Yeah, this is the other lady. Look, and the announcement is like, this was what, 6:43 p.m. February 19th, and this one was 1:54 p.m. February 9th. These are the same people. They have different names, but I swear to God, we're being psyoped, man.
What?
Bruh.
They look the same.
Back and forth. That's one. Can you make yours bigger, Craig? Like, click on it.
Click on who?
The image.
This? Yeah, there you go.
Yes. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna look 1, 2. They kind of do look alike.
Ah.
Are they both pregnant now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I agree with Papa Gundam's comment. For her next trick, could she just go the fuck away?
So I want to put this in perspective. I'm doing my math right now. There are 60 minutes in an hour. There's 24 hours in a day, right? Which means that there are 1,440 moments in a day, which means that if she slept with 1,057 men, each man, are you really sleeping with somebody if it's 1 minute and 1.3 minutes?
Well, you see, if she was smart, they wouldn't have done it one at a time. They could have done like double penetration. They could have doubled up, you know, like.
Save time, be efficient.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're gonna do this, at least be efficient. But I guess she didn't even have the brain cells for that.
She's like, it's a 3 whole day.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, I guess there is truth to that. Maybe that's what happened. One pulled out, the other night got popped in, and the other, you know, it's like a, I don't know. Well, either way, now she's pregnant. Congratulations. The response to this was pretty amazing.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yes, wow. Maury Povich chimed in from the Maury Show, and he said, I'm sitting this one out, which brings up a bigger question here, because Blabs had no idea who Maury Povich was in the Maury Show.
I regret telling you things before the show.
Well, no, this is important stuff. You need to know who he currently has 2 million subscribers over on YouTube, but this is a guy who's been on, he's been on TV forever.
I love fish.
You love fish?
Yeah, you're underwater.
Yeah. This sounds like it's Kirsche gonna say something dramatic.
Well, Blabs, his thing was that he would bring on pregnant women to confront potential dads of the father, and they would do paternity tests for it. And that was the whole idea of, like, Maury Povich originally was kind of a straight edge journalist, and then Jerry Springer got really popular. So Maury Povich kind of went into the trash TV thing, and they found that the baby daddy shows were the most popular. So that's like what all he's known
There's like
for.
tons of those though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen like those other ones. Like even some Judge Judy episodes are like those, aren't they?
And then you get you are not the father. And then the guy jumps up and starts dancing and celebrating.
That's right.
Wait, that's him?
Yeah.
Oh, then I've seen it tons of times.
I slept with 2 cousins. Which one is my baby's father?
Right.
A second. This has been a very serious drama, okay? And Colin recognizes that.
Yeah, why does he look like Discount Tim Allen?
How do you have a black cousin?
Adoption?
I don't know. Well, here we go.
Racial marriages? Interracial?
Let's see what happens. And they always put the baby in the background. They always have this
That's
like nice
so
B-roll.
sad for the baby. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, but the baby won't know until they're like old enough to watch TV, right? And then like
And then
on
they'll
their
get
16th
picked on.
birthday, their mom can be like, "I have a special present for you. Look at when you were a child. We were on Maury Povich."
Have you legit never seen this before, Blabs? You've never seen
No,
this?
I have. I've seen like bits and pieces. I just didn't connect the dots of it was him. But yeah, I just think it's very sad though for the children because later on they're gonna be bullied because other people will have seen this and be like, ha ha ha, your mommy's a hoe.
You think that's what's going to happen with our other lady here?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
This lady over here.
Oh
holding
yeah,
up
especially 'cause
1,000.
I could not
numbers.
imagine being the child of this woman and having like the school experience of everyone knowing my mother fucked over 1,000 men, and that I was conceived as like the 1,000 men were conveyor belted into her massive parking garage. Like, I like that kid is going to be hard bullied.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Oh, my
worse than the
God.
OnlyFans moms. You've heard those stories,
yeah.
right? Where like the kids get bullied, and then the moms aren't even allowed to be like participating in like PTA meetings and all that because they're shamed for OnlyFans. This is 10 times worse.
Yeah. Well, let's see the reaction here, because this is what we get out of Maury Povich here. Like, for some reason, everybody just starts dancing on the Maury Povich show.
I don't understand.
Oh, my God.
She's like, I'm a slut. Let me dance.
Here it comes, Blabs.
Collins, you are not.
Oh my God! How did I call that you were gonna bring up the exact like one where one of the guys was dancing over it?
It literally, I'm gonna pull down the music here. Oh, these poor little kids.
You are not.
Oh my God! They're playing music too.
It's crazy. Well, Blabs, this is what passed for TV before
Wow.
the YouTube existed.
Where do the moms go? They just walk off the stage in shame?
Pretty much.
I mean, they come back and they cry a bit because they're just like, "Oh, who's gonna take care of my baby now?"
Mm-hmm. Who's gonna help me? I don't know. Oh my God. So, anyways, there's that. So the lady is now pregnant. Congratulations to the lady and her new
Ladies, they're
child.
both preggos.
Oh well, that's
Shout
I'm
out
sure
to the
I
moms.
gave you a twofer.
way to go. Well, she got not a twofer, but a thousander. What's a thousander?
No, not the twofer because you thought it was one lady who was pregnant, but it
Probably
was actually
STDs.
2 sluts who were pregnant.
Oh, yay. Correct. Speaking of sluts, C. Thomas came in with his wife.
I thought you were gonna bring up Elon Musk's new kid.
No. Says a regular reminder to do the Kirsche and praise the Corsche. Montez.
Absolutely. Montez!
There you go. It's your boy, Skinny Boobies, came in with 1,000 men.
How did you turn a penis into boobs?
What, me?
Yeah, you said skinny boobies. It's skinny boopus, like a penis.
I said boobies. I don't even know what's going on. Daniel says 1,057 wieners and no plan B. Must be an American woman complaining about abortion laws. Lol. Oh boy, Daniel, thank
True
you
and
very
real.
much. Awesome. And then we have, I can't even say this one. What is this one, Blabs?
Oh,
What is
another
this?
name.
Ah, yeah, that.
Okay.
I like how we both did arg the same way.
Hot dog hallway moment for sure. Thank you for that. With the
Oh man, that is not even a hallway anymore. That's just like an open field.
gross.
A football field.
Oh my God. Hey, well, good news. We already did pass our Montez goal. Maybe we'll have 2 Montez opportunities today. Kirsche, where would you like Montez to be suplexed? Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, The Moon, Dustborn, or the Mushroom Kingdom?
Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh
Love it.
no.
Oh no, what?
Someone in your chat in response to, like, you know, the hot dog hallway football field thing said a parking lot, and then my brain immediately imagined that woman during her 1,000-man day having the paved paradise and put up a parking lot song on repeat, because that's exactly what they're doing, man. God damn.
Oh my God. It's rough. Do you think that when she has the kid, she just shakes a little bit and it falls out?
I mean, she's probably not even gonna
That's
realize it's
so
time to have
gross.
it. It's gonna fall out like a Chinese birth. Have you
She's
seen
gonna
those videos?
sneeze, and it's just gonna come out one day.
Just sneezes wrong. Well, I'm sorry, Kirsche. What'd you say?
There's a lot of videos of like women in China. They're just like walking around on the street, and then suddenly they'll squat, and like a baby pops out. Like it's just like it's almost
Sorry.
there are almost as many of those as like the Escalator Predator videos.
Wait. You say there's a lot. What does that
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Well, I've seen
Dozens?
probably like dozens. I don't think I've seen 100 of them, but you know, quite a few.
wow. I'll tell you what. No, you never know where the show is going to go when Kirsche is on, and I love it. I love it. Didn't know that the Chinese women just dropping babies out their vaginas.
Yeah, you know,
tough
dropping
stuff.
babies on the sidewalk. You dropping yourself through the elevator. It's gonna eat you. Dangerous.
Blabs, before we move on to our next story, Angry Salt Shaker came in with the $50 direct donation says, got my refund. Let's fucking go. Cherry Coke is meh at best. Craig, do you smell toast? Just asking. Just asking, since there's mild smoke coming from your ears trying to read the super chats and donos.
Oh my god, you know what Coke I do miss? Coke with lime, man. Lime Coke was amazing.
Yeah, most the Coke flavors are pretty good. They have a new one out. It's an orange vanilla Coke.
Oh,
have you seen that?
Ooh, I have not, but I would try that.
I agree. I think I will. They have a zero sugar version of it. I'll give that a go.
Ooh.
The Bungler came in with the $25 direct donation. Says, those two burnt more rubber than the start of a drag race. No tread left on the tires. Thank you, Bungler. And Darth Gorebag came in with the 1313. Says the baby probably has 8 biological dads, as in 8 different man's tadpoles all parted their way to that egg. Oh, gross. Thank you.
What if one of them had like the little spring helper that made the like retarded sperm swim faster? I don't know why you would want to do that. That seems like a bad idea, man. Did you guys see that? That was like a news thing yesterday.
No. What do you?
Oh, scientists created like this little like microscopic springy thing that like attaches to sperm and helps sperm swim faster so that it can impregnate the egg. But like in my opinion, I thought it was survival of the fittest, right? Like the strongest sperm gets to impregnate the egg. So if your sperm isn't good enough to reach the egg, maybe it shouldn't. Maybe that just shouldn't happen.
Listen, I agree with you 1,000%. All right.
I agree too. I'm just shutting down.
They're against eugenics until they can make, the low IQ population through helping the disabled sperms.
The DEI sperm.
The DEI sperm.
And how do you attach it to these little things? Like,
I don't know. Let me see if I can find the video because it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter. Oh yeah, let's see.
Okay. Well, while you do that, Kirsche, and we wait for sperm talk.
Oh yeah, here's the sperm video. I found it pretty quick. I'm nuts.
You're on fire today.
I'm on fire.
Okay, let's just listen. Blaz, where's our pivot video? Thank you. We have this video here. This is a nanobot helping a sperm with motility issues along towards an egg. All right. These metal helixes are so small they can completely wrap around the tail of a single sperm and assist it along its journey. I don't know if I want a metal helix guiding
a hero's journey.
Jesus. Okay.
I hope they get bullied by the other sperm and still don't make it.
Look at this little thing just flying on. Congratulations, you're the chosen one. And all of a sudden it's trying to get away. It's like, I can't get away. And then sure
I don't
enough,
like this. This is weird.
I just feel like this is a very bad idea, man.
It is.
How many of these metal helixes are you putting in your, whatever? Does this go with the guy or does it go with the girl?
That's a good question. I was going to say, you have enough microplastics in your balls already. Maybe they just repurpose that. A recycle, as it were.
Isn't it sad?
Recycling balls.
Welcome to Side Scrollers Blast. Oh, my God. Let's move on. Let's pivot to some video game stuff. Kirsche, do you know who the Samurai Pizza Cats are?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you see the news this morning?
No.
Ooh, there is a brand new game just announced this morning for Samurai Pizza Cats. Check this out.
To little Tokyo, where some big news has just reached the big cheese.
A video game. 30 years later, and these old-fashioned furballs are getting a new video game. These darn pizza cats are always stealing my spotlight. I haven't felt this angry since our cartoon show stopped airing on TV.
Calm down, Zeno. If the pizza cats are getting a new game, that means we will be cast as the main villains, right? Our voice actors are even recording the scene that we're doing right now.
But I'm supposed to be the lead. I'm probably not even going to be a playable character.
Calm down, Cheese. I have a plan. We could bribe the animators to draw a super powerful robot for us. And then we can get rid of those pesky pizza cats once and for all.
Bribe the animators. What a brilliant idea. And with those annoying pizza cats out of the way, I'll become the new emperor of Little Tokyo once and for all.
Oh no! Isn't there anyone who can stop this cast-off supervillain?
So, the big cheese is up to his old tricks again, huh? Well, we've got 9 lives, plus continues.
And when the game gets tough, you know who to call.
We are the Samurai Pizza Cats!
This is ridiculous, and I want to play it.
I agree. I don't want to show you gameplay just yet, but it's like I love because the next 30 seconds is gameplay. But I love that they brought back the voice actors, and I love that it has like that 90s look to it as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm curious if this is recycled from the show potentially, if they just kind of recycled it and redubbed it. But let's check out the gameplay.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Samurai Pizza Cats are back with a brand new video game. The Big Cheese has an evil scheme up his sleeve, and it's up to you, the player, to stop him from taking over Little Tokyo. Switch between your favorite cats, Speedy, Guido, and Polyester, and get ready for some nostalgic pepperoni action. So put on your best pajamas, because we're going to party like it's 1991 with the return of the Samurai Pizza Cats.
I forgot one was named Guido.
Right. There was a lot going on in that. I feel like just based off of there was definitely it sounded like a white guy doing an Asian voice in the as one of the bad guys, and I'm sure they'll probably cancel him or something for that.
That actually looks wicked cute. I would play that.
Yeah, I don't think I was on anybody's radar as of 2 hours ago before that was announced, but. You know, we'll see what that does. If there's a market for Samurai Pizza Cats in 2025, you know, it's been 34 years, as they say.
Oh, absolutely.
Blabs, does that look fun to you at all?
Looks all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Will you ever play it?
If I get it for free.
Okay, there we go. If I get it for free. True. Truer words had never been spoken. Raphael came in. Just says, imagine that smell. Nobody wants to imagine the smell of what you're talking about. Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate that. T1S says, can we bring back Plain Talk? No. We
did. We did on Tuesday.
We did yesterday.
Monday,
yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah. All right. So we got this. This is pretty amazing. I don't know. Okay. Kirsche, we talk a lot about DEI whenever you're on the show, you know, and all the craziness going on in culture. And I'll say this, you know, there's been a dramatic shift in the culture across the board in the last several months. And some people can't handle it. They just cannot deal with this nonsense.
The salt mining has been plentiful.
Yes. And people have, in fact, doubled down in many ways in their ideologies. Like, no, they're fascist, blah, 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 whatever, right? One guy who I think I did not have this on my bingo card for 2025 was the CEO of GameStop coming out and offering up people to buy portions of their existing company with this tweet. It says, email M&A@GameStop.com if you're interested in buying GameStop Canada or Micromania France. High taxes, liberalism, socialism, progressivism, wokeness, and DEI included at no additional cost if you buy today.
Oh my God, he's sick of it.
He's done with the nonsense. And if you go to his post, he actually has a big old American flag right there. And there you go. I mean, it's funny because I did not see this happening. And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, why don't you sell some games first? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, it is what it is. So, but what's also funny is PC Gamer coming in, you know, now known for politically correct gamer. They said GameStop announces plans to sell off French and Canadian outlets while its CEO yells about wokeness and DER in bizarre self-defeating promotion.
How is it bizarre and self-defeating? Like, GameStop's been dead for ages, man. It's not like the DEI's been helping them.
No, not at all. Do you think this is this is the CEO saying this? Do you feel it's legit or?
He's the CEO. He could have stopped them from digging themselves into a massive freaking hole. Why didn't he do it sooner? Why is he only coming out and saying something now that the culture is shifting?
You know,
and DEI's been losing company money for ages now, man. He could have ripped out ideologues previously. He could have been like, "Look, man, you're bad for profit. You're bad for the company. This is not what we want to be doing. Like, get back to our roots. Get back to selling video games. Less Funko Pop, more video game."
well, there's people who have responded to this. Like this person, Jun, says wokeness has nothing to do with these chain stores doing badly. More like CEOs being external source people who probably never played a game or stepped inside a GameStop to begin with. Not to mention the high prices, lack of older and vintage games, etc. You know, look, there's truth in this. There's partial truths in this, right? I don't think wokeness has, like, we all know GameStop has been going down the tubes for a long time, right? The physical games media space has been dying for a better part of a decade. Hell, I mean, I owned a video game store for a couple of years, for about 2-3 years, and we saw a sharp decline once the Xbox 360 and came out, and they offered up, you know, Xbox Live Marketplace and such. People were buying their games digitally. So to blame it all on like wokeness and DEI, that's not why GameStop is failing. But you notice he wants to hold on to the United States stores, but not the Canadian and French stores where, you know, their culture has more or less been lost.
Well, I mean, it's more from a company perspective, right? It's also about the games being filled with like DEI nonsense. It's probably more about the hiring practices, the HRs at those certain divisions, the like employee training that people were given, probably, you know, similar to other corporations that we've covered, like Anheuser-Busch or like Jack Daniels or like Amazon, right? Having all these different DEI initiatives for their companies. And it's possible the French and the Canadian ones had far more of that kind of policy than the ones in the United States. But again, that would be something that the CEO could have shut down far earlier. And like, I don't know how much of that policy like GameStop has, because they're not a company I've specifically looked into at all, because they're basically, unfortunately for that guy, irrelevant in current year. And part of the irrelevancy is them not trying to capitalize on I don't want to say vintage, but like, you know, retro games and older games. When I even went back like in the mid 2000s to like buy, you know, like more copies of Pokemon Gold or Pokemon Silver, because when I was a kid, I didn't realize that those watch batteries had an expiration date. And so in my GameStop saving, I assumed, you know, something was wrong with my cartridge. I had to go buy another one. I went to GameStop, bought several cartridges. None of them worked because it was, you know, the internal clock. I needed a new battery, but the GameStop employees didn't know that. And I feel like, yeah, they're just a retail store, but if you hire people who like games, who know about games, kind of like the retro shops that you can go to, the people that work there, they know their shit. So if you hire people at GameStop that know what they're talking about and you make it focused on games again, people will come back to them, I feel like. Because a lot of people really like physical media.
I don't disagree with you, but once again, there needs to be a product for that. There's a very small part of me feels like there's an opportunity out there for somebody to make a strictly physical product console. And I don't know, part of me, I don't know if that is the nostalgia in me talking, or if I actually think there's a market out there for something like that, to where you offer only physical products for it. The game, it certainly would not be supported by major AAA developers, but maybe from an indie perspective. But I don't know how big of a market there is for that.
I mean, I just think rather than making something purely for physical media that you can't use digital media on, companies should just make consoles like they always have that can accommodate both physical and digital, right? Instead of like... Right. I understand why companies are pushing towards everything digital, because, you know, you will own nothing and you will be happy kind of nonsense. But I think getting rid of physicality altogether is not the way to go.
Well, it was just kind of interesting to see the GameStop CEO come out with such a definitive statement, more or less trashing, you know, these two countries, saying, "I don't want to have to deal with these countries anymore. Please, someone buy this off." So
absolutely, it is funny.
I mean, this is the CEO of a Fortune, you know, well, I guess at one time a Fortune 500 company. So pretty crazy. All right. Daniel came in with the 20, says Skyrim has financed so much trash. Kids are not smart or creative anymore. Microtransactions keep the zombies alive through idiots. Montez. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. Colts of the Worm picked up the Side Scrollers High Life t-shirt. Thank you very much. It says the Worm watches Side Scrollers. It is pleased. Thank you, Worm. Appreciate that greatly. Craig, look up Evercade Versus. It has physical cards. I like that. Thank you. I'll check that out. Evercade Versus. Marlin says 1,000 men, 6 inches average size. So let's say, is that 10 inches? 10 inches,
10
per
inches
pump.
per pump.
Let's average about 40 pumps or 40,000 pumps or 400,000 inches or 33,333 feet or 6.31 miles of D.
We're mathematically proving exactly how much of a whore you are, so we know exactly how little of a ring to give you for marriage.
Right. The more pumps, the smaller the ring. That's right. Mercenary says, yesterday at a Pizza Hut, 2 employees tried to give me a huge cringe lecture that I am a Yahtzee because I voted for Orange Man, all because I had a Make Gaming great hat on. The delusion was real. Was that our hat? Mercenary?
I wouldn't have like paid for my pizza. I would have walked out, man. That's
right.
That is insane.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, because that's what when you go on a Pizza Hut, you want to be lectured on politics.
It's like when Starbucks had that campaign of like, oh, we got to talk about the racial tension. So when you give a customer a coffee, you gotta open up a conversation about race with them. It's like, why would you force your employees into a weird situation like that, man?
Rolando says there's a clip of Bonnie Blue talking about doing a scene with a father and son at the same time. It's on an interview she did where the guy was truthful to her.
Oh.
Disgusting.
I think I found it by accident.
What?
I haven't even played it yet, though.
Wait, well,
I opened up Twitter.
How did Blabs just immediately have this pulled
Because
up?
I opened up Twitter and it was right there.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. YOLO.
They really bigged you up, you know. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I mean, I don't know CPR, so if it goes wrong and you need CPR,
Maybe
I only know how to
she's in
suck, not anything else.
Well, at least she's honest.
Do you want to spend 2 minutes with me alone or double it and pass it to the next person?
2 minutes with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do to me?
As much as possible.
No, stop. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want.
I thought this was the father-son thing, but it's just like...
It's just another one. There's too many of them, man.
That makes me upset on a level because it's like there's so much important like male bonding between a father and son that should happen for like a healthy family dynamic, but like now you can't even have like healthy male friendships in movies because everyone's just like, they're gay now, they're gay for having a healthy bro relationship. And now instead of like normal father-son bonding, they're like, yeah, let's go tag team this slut who's letting 1,000 other men fuck her. Like, what? I am gonna turn into the Joker. I hate society.
It is disgusting. It is rancid, really, and like just to hear that guy talking like that to her, like
in
on
public
the street.
too.
Yeah, right. It's like disgusting.
Like, all right, I make fun of all sorts of people who have like insane fetishes. All right, like kink shaming is my kink, as it were. But like, if you're doing nasty shit in your own home and you don't make it public, like. Do you, man? Because like I'm not gonna hear about it, I'm not gonna know about it, that's your private life. But as soon as you start bringing that shit out into the public, that's where I have a problem with it. Like all of those videos like a decade ago, they were like, oh, my girlfriend's a cat, she drinks milk out of a bowl on the table and I take her for walks. It's like, why would you show us this? Stop trying to normalize this nonsense.
That's just horrible. Marmalin says pit roasting is not healthy male bonding.
It's not.
Blabs, do you
At
know
least
what
not that
pit
kind of
roasting
pit roasting.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
Leah.
want to talk about it. We learned about it on Urban Dictionary.
That's right, we did,
here.
didn't we? Yeah, we did. That's right. Ken says 1,057 dudes gonna get court ordered for DNA tests for child support.
We're gonna see like the court case that brings down the system unfairly favoring women. Because like, what if she tries to get child support from more than just the one man?
Oh my God! Yeah, right. Like, just everybody has to pay a little bit every month. All 1,057. Like they all got to pay $15 or whatever it is.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! That was her master plan all along. She's
By the way, you do realize you said pit roasting, right, Craig?
That's what it said,
but
didn't
he wrote pit roasting instead of spit roasting.
It's spit roasting, but I was just like, maybe
sorry,
Craig forgot
Blab,
words.
sorry.
Yeah, but you could pit roast a pig, and then you could spit roast the pig or the woman.
Sorry, Blabs. Didn't know you were so down with all this.
No, what? No! Don't try spinning this
My
around me
fault.
when you
Sorry.
can't read.
Whoa, sorry about that.
What? It's not his rating this time. That's the way it was written. Well, I'll
That's why I
defend
had to
Craig
double
here.
check. I had to double check here.
That's right. Blabs the expert. There you go.
Ew! No! Don't even say these things. No.
Hey, Master Gawa says we don't have flying cars because DEI scientists spends millions helping sperm along. They could have spent $5 on a turkey baster to reach the same hole.
True and real.
Thank you, Mr. Gawa. Sorry, Blabs.
I don't like you right now.
What did I do?
I don't like you.
Marmalin came in with a $100. There's some spit roasting. There you go. Spit roasting. Happy, better. Marmalin, are you happy? Are you better looking at that? Congratulations.
Yeah, $100 to spit roast Craig.
My have the turntables.
I got
He's
that
just
one.
sitting back there.
I know, he's just sitting. I had to stand up for you, Blabs.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's right, Craig. Think about what you've done. Hello.
Welcome back. That was fast.
It's great to see everybody. That's what she said. All right, let's go to this big story
Probably
here.
what she did say. That was really fast. Next.
That was the joke, you see. All right, we got another big story. Oh, shit. But before we get to that, Bantam came in. Wow. With the €50 money says, hail Craig, hail Foxu, hail Blabs. This is getting banal. Banal? Yet it's not supposed
Banal.
to be. I've never
Okay, I corrected him and he ignored me.
Banal.
Well, because
He's got the
anal
spit
is-
roasting on the mind now.
Yeah. What you got going on there, Craig? Something on the brain?
What is the? I've never actually seen that word. What is that word?
Banal.
Banal. What does that even mean?
It's like
wild.
boring. Yeah, mild. Like, just
The show
fucking
is?
run of the mill, you know?
Oh,
No, it's not mild. Isn't it wild? Like banal is like weird. Like
Banal. This show is getting banal.
So
Get it.
lacking in originality that to be obvious and boring. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
That was the wrong
Okay.
definition.
He's responding to the story we're going to be talking about.
I was right. I'm smart, Fox.
This
Smart
is
as a
getting
fifth grader.
this is getting banal. Yet it's not supposed to be difficult. Developers, you need us way more than we need you. Give products that we want, and you get money. You give us crap, the purse remains shut. Capiche? Right?
Capiche.
Capiche.
Yeah, that's like not even Italian. It's American slang.
Still means you can talk with you know, whatever. Hey, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate your support. And yeah, we're going to get to that in just a second. But first, we need to talk about James Bond and the blockbuster news that came down today about what's going on with this damn franchise. As Amazon will officially gain creative control of the James Bond franchise in a new joint venture deal. Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli will remain co-owners of Bond, but are stepping back to focus on other projects.
Barbara Broccoli, like she's some sort of Looney Tunes character. What is this? I was about to get angry because everything Amazon touches like turns to shit, like just a worse Netflix. But then Barbara Broccoli saved the day.
Barbara Broccoli. As per the historic agreement, Amazon MGM Studios, Wilson, and Broccoli will have formed a new joint venture to house the James Bond intellectual property rights. The three parties will remain co-owners of the iconic franchise, but Amazon MGM will have, and this is the most important one, creative control.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, yikes, yikes, yikes. There's been a giant response to this. As we saw this post as well from Variety. It says Amazon has full creative control of James Bond, and Jeff Bezos is always asking, who would you pick as the next James Bond? So they're already reaching out, saying, and Henry Cavill obviously is probably one of the biggest ones for sure. Chat, who would you like to see as the new James Bond?
I think Henry Cavill is a good choice.
I agree.
Because I feel like
Cavill.
when he works on stuff, he like wants to stay true to source material. So everybody else working on it who wants to stuff it full of ideology fucking hates his guts. And I can appreciate a guy who like sticks to his guns like that, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that. Well, we have a lot of response to this, and Ryan Kinnell, I think, probably had the best response to this by far, and that response was this: "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to DEI."
Okay, that's pretty good.
pretty damn brilliant right there. So it says, in all seriousness, there have certainly been missteps with Bond in the Daniel Craig era, but there have also been certain levels of restraint and hesitation to use Bond in some sort of content farm, the way we see many franchises used in modern entertainment. This reeks of something that Amazon will churn out. They want to churn out product with money, a Money Penny spinoff, Q spinoff, etc. And I 100% agree with Ryan here.
I mean, if they're already like making James Bond black, if they're already making James Bond a woman, right? Like, if they're already fucking with the canon to that degree, does it really matter if they decide, oh, we want an extended James Bond universe? We're going to make James Bond into like Doctor Who. Like, does it? Like, they've already ruined it. Right, so like, unless Amazon returned to form and they were like, yeah, we're just gonna retcon all of that nonsense that happened the past few years, and we're gonna bring it back to the actual canon. We're gonna bring it back to the actual lore, and like, I don't see Amazon doing that, obviously. So it's like, they're gonna probably keep ruining it, and I just like, it's like, fuck. I wish things would be better. I wish they would stop ruining things.
They certainly don't have a good track record, and I think that they're right. They're going to turn this into the James Bond universe, right? And then you're going to see spinoffs of all sorts of stuff. How did Money Penny come to be? How did go down the list of every single character? They can create backstories now, or founding stories, or whatever it is you want to call it. So we're going to get all that. It's going to be silly, and ultimately,
that's what Remedy is doing as well with like Alan Wake and Control, and they're making like a TV series and like a movie with Annapurna, and Annapurna is also an incredibly like DEI stuffed movie studio. Annapurna is actually the company that came out with the movie recently, Night Bitch, and I'm sure you haven't heard of Night Bitch, but they swear to God it is a streaming success. So Night Bitch, TLDR, is a woman who's a mother who resents her child for existing, and she turns into a dog, and that's the movie. And her husband is just like, oh, you do everything to like show that you hate your life, but I'm so sorry that you had to quit your job to become a mother, and I should have supported you. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I made my community watch it, and it was bad.
Seen things of this.
So this is the company that's gonna have creative like assistance over Alan Wake and Control now.
Oh, and Amy Adams.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Night Bitch. There we go. All right, cool. Well, congratulations, I guess, to James Bond for their crazy ass new story of that we're definitely going to see. That's balls crazy. I do. Breaking news.
Beep, 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 beep.
We do know who the next James Bond will be.
Nah.
I would not be surprised if they did that. I'd be like, yeah, expected.
Wow, that's just crazy to even think about. Anyways, all right. Video Gamer 25 came in with the 2025 Super Chat. Says, oh, great, James Bond is going to literally get rammed up in the ass in the next movie, isn't he? Always great to see wonderful / hilarious Foxu on and speaking the hard truth about DEI and Kirsche stuff. Love you, Kier. Also, Montez. Thank you. Video.
We're gonna have James Bond be like, I can't just be a womanizer. That's not equality. I have to hit on men now, too.
Let him know. And Speedy Cake came in with the 50 Australian money. Says, I can see it now. James Bent and the directed energy incident. I said that right, Blabs, right? There we go.
Yeah.
Speedy Cake, thank you very much, and thank you for that.
I just was waiting to see if you could read it, that's all.
I'm good at reading.
Yes.
Including Zim, who came in with a $50 direct donation. Says, I'm about 40 minutes behind live and driving, but wanted to show support for the sexy Fox lady and Bowser. Thank you. Kirsche, if you're not keeping the towel you're sitting on, I have a friend that would like it. JK, I'll just take a Polaroid of lesbian Craig. Everyone shames me for my glasses. It's ridiculous. It's so sad. So sad. Zachary says Night Beach is the shaggy dog for angry middle-aged women. Thank you. Cold Acids, there's not much for 007 lore. They were already making their own stories during the Sean Connery era, but yeah, it's going to get worse.
Oh yeah, I mean, even if there's not like a ton of lore, it's still just like that was an established character. Stop trying to DEI it up, you know?
Commodore Fan says there was an unofficial spinoff with Neil Connery, Sean's brother, called Operation Kid Brother. It was an OG Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode, which includes Moneypenny. That's interesting. Cool. Anthony says there's a retro game store chain in my area that have almost the same pricing as GameStop that is flourishing. About the only difference is that they specialize in old games and they keep it one store per city. It's cool, Anthony. Nice. Yeah, and that's the way to go. You have to sell used games. That's where the markup is with all of this stuff. Like when you want to go to GameStop to get your new game, the reality is that GameStop, like think about this. This is the one thing I don't think a lot of people truly understand when it comes to like buying new games, is that when you buy a new game, like whatever that comes out and it costs $70, GameStop is paying between $60 and $65 for that in bulk, right? So they're making $5 to $10 off that. So they have to sell just to break even, like 7 copies of that, just to break even on it. So it's a mess. That's why when they sell used games, they buy them for $10 and then they turn around and sell them for $40. You know, it's a much smaller investment. So, you know, that's why used game stores do so well in comparison to new game stores. So just a little fun thing here. All right. I wanted to take some time and watch this video. This video is being passed around, and there's been a lot of criticism about developers, and there's been a lot of criticism about gamers and their critiques of video games. This guy, his name is Mark Dara, and Mark Dara was previously at Bioware, and he actually came back to help out the latest kind of slop get out the door over there with Dragon Age Veilguard. And this is a dude that, according to his X profile, which I want to pull up here, says that he is no longer notable, brain dump for 23 years, him, right? And he worked for BioWare for a good while, okay? So he released this video, and I wanted to watch this just as do a full reaction to this with y'all. Because I think what I want to do is I want to start and stop as we go through and just see how y'all feel about this. Because he says a lot in this video while also saying a lot of nothing. So we're going to start this from beginning to end. First and foremost, Kirsche, what do you think about the title of this? Your $70 doesn't buy you cruelty. I feel like gaming consumers haven't been cruel enough. Like, there's too many people who will just buy slop, right? Like just buy product and then get excited for next product. There's too many people who don't value what they're actually buying as a product and will just base it off of either nostalgia or like they just want to play the new thing because everyone's going to be talking about it. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really insane that some of these developers are just like, how dare you be cruel? It's like, well, if you make products that we want to buy, you're going to stay employed. Like, you're doing a good job. If we're not buying your products, if we're telling you to stop doing these things to like franchises that we've loved, that's not being cruel. That's like wanting you to do better. That's wanting you to have passion for the stuff that you're working on instead of just pushing ideology into it. Well, he's going to lay out his thoughts here when it comes to this. And just because you buy a game doesn't mean that you're a good person. So let's go ahead and take a watch and see what he has to say here.
The title, did it say something like your $70 doesn't buy you cruelty? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. The fact that you bought a game that you didn't like doesn't give you the right to be cruel or unkind to the people that developed that game. Now, I'm going to be clear about something.
What's that, Kirsche?
Well, it's not simply that we didn't like the game. Like, I've played plenty of games. I'm like, oh, that wasn't like, you know, too terribly fun. I just don't play it again. All right, like it's still like, even if I don't like a game back in the day, you could still tell that people who made it liked what they were doing. They put effort into the game that they were making. Nowadays, it's ideology first, good game maybe second, if they even think about it. And so that's where the issue is. And I think a lot of these developers get so incredibly full of themselves, much like, you know, the translators who feel like they can just edit other people's works and take credit for it, or like journalists who feel like they are the access media that everyone needs to listen to and bow down to. It's like, I don't know how all of these people got such an ego to see themselves above everyone else.
Well, let's see where he goes with this.
I'm not saying that you have to like the thing you bought. I'm not saying even that you aren't allowed to complain about the thing you bought. You can have whatever opinion that you feel like towards a game. Even if that opinion is stupid and wrong, you are entitled to that opinion. And to some degree, you're entitled to express that opinion to the corporation, to the video game studio that created this game that you bought.
Okay, he says to some degree. Incorrect. Just you get to. There's no to some degree that you can do this. No, you 100% can do this. That is the world we live in today, and that's the, you know. So the idea of adding these qualifiers. Well, maybe you can if you want.
People posting things on Twitter isn't like yeah, they might be harsh, right? They might be angry, and they have every right to be. But posting things publicly on Twitter is not like directly going into someone's DMs or going to their house or doing crazy shit, right? So like I can't imagine what this guy is even talking about.
Right.
You paid 70 of your own dollars for this game and it disappointed you and you're angry about that. That is fine. You are entitled to be angry about it. And you're entitled to express that anger in certain channels. If you are mad at that Ubisoft game, be mad at Ubisoft. Express your anger to Ubisoft or to the studio that made the game. But you cross a line when you start being cruel about it.
Okay. So there it is. You cross the line. Kirsche, do you know what that line is by chance? Do you have any idea?
I mean, like, I'm sure he'll explain the line, which is like what I'm kind of waiting for. Because like, what does he define the cruelty as? But from my experience, like the game developers, the journalists, they define cruelty and harassment as just people posting online that the game is bad, that the game is woke, that they don't want this ideology, that they're tired of this stuff being ham-fisted and shoehorned into a game when it doesn't even make sense for the plot. Like, I mean, look at like Assassin's Creed with Yasuke, right? Like, it's just everything wrong that studio could have done, they decided to do. And now they're trying to do like, oh, you don't have to play Yasuke, you can just ignore him, don't worry about it. It's like, right. At this point, dude, just cancel the game. You got the egg on your face already. Just be like, oh, look, bro, we fucked up. We wasted all of this money. We know we're not going to recoup it. Let's just fucking cancel.
See what else. See where he goes here. See if he defines a line.
So why am I saying you don't get to be cruel because you spent $70? Let's walk through it. One, you shouldn't be cruel at all. What are you doing? It's a video game. You don't need to go out of your way to cause harm to other people because of a video game that you don't like. Again, I'm not.
Yes, I agree. What does he mean by
that? Like he's saying, you know, like, you're not entitled to be cruel. You can't be cruel. You can't, like, you know, do harm. But it's like, what is he defining as these things? Because as of right now, the only thought in my head about what he's talking about are mean comments on Twitter, and like I wouldn't even define them as mean. It's unhappy customers at the ideological subversion of their games. And so it's just like, what does he mean by this?
And what is cruel? Like that's the other thing. Like if you go and you say, hey, I don't like this game because it's woke, or I don't like this game because this character is whatever. Like that doesn't mean you're cruel. It means you have criticisms of the development of the game or an idea behind it. So is like that's where I'm going to speed this up to about 1.5 speed because it's a longer video. But that's the thing that can never be defined with these people is there is no clear delineation of what exactly, where does the cruel line pass, right? So let's see his examples here.
saying you're not allowed to be angry about it. I'm not saying you don't get to express your dissatisfaction with the content of the game that you're not enjoying. But when you climb into someone's personal social media and start actively attacking that person, when you celebrate layoffs at a studio because the game that you don't like didn't do that well, you're crossing a line into being cruel. And fundamentally, you should have more grace for other human beings.
Okay. So
you should have had more grace before you stuck your fucking disgusting fingers all over IPs that didn't need to be stuffed with nonsense, man. Like what? He makes me mad. And what do they mean by like come into people's social media? It's online. It's public. If you're gonna be like, I'm so proud of our diverse and inclusive team for making this wonderful video game, and people like actually know it sucks. Like what? If you're gonna piss in the ocean of piss, expect a little splashback, man. Like, come on, dude.
I'm with you on this, and the idea that if you're gonna talk about your job on social media, then you've opened the floodgates to it for sure. Blabs, what are your thoughts on this as you're hearing him?
I agree with Kirsche. I think this guy's like a walking hypocrite, 100%. Everything he's saying, he's like, oh, you guys don't need to be angry or cruel. It's like, you were the cruel ones first. You did this. You're a hypocrite.
And like, I remember, I think it was like maybe even 2 months ago now, like one of the times I was on here when like layoffs were first starting to roll, Craig was just like, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't, be too happy about the layoffs. And I was like, no, fuck them. Absolutely fuck them. I'm happy these people are losing their jobs and getting fired, because if you're putting ideology ahead of making a good product, ahead of your passion for video games, which most of these people don't have, then why are you even in the industry? The only reason you're here is because you want to push ideology to change culture. You see video games as a vehicle to help push propaganda. You don't see them as something that's fun and relaxing and that people love as a hobby. And that's what I want. I want the good developers to stay. I don't want those people to lose their jobs. And if their studio shuts down because of all of these acolytes, I feel bad for those developers, right? And I hope they can get hired somewhere where they're appreciated for their skills and their ability. But all of these other people, yes, I am happy that they're losing their jobs.
All right, let's go to continue. Actually, I want to pull up the thumbs up, thumbs down ratio for this really fast.
Boy.
I'm just curious what it looks like. He's been ratioed on his own video. Yeah. It is 1,000 thumbs up, 1,400 thumbs down. So, and that'll only get worse. Let's go to continue here.
But if you're not buying that, let's go on to point 2. You don't know what caused the results that you don't like. Let's go through an example. Let's say that you don't like the...
This is where I feel like his arrogance is going to shine through. You don't understand.
It's like, you gamers are just stupid. You don't understand what we're trying to do.
You idiots.
The line delivery on a piece of dialogue. Is that the fault of the voice actor? It might be, but it could be a lot of other things too. It might be the fault of the person who was directing that voice actor. Maybe they were given very specific instructions to deliver the line in this particular way.
This is the first thing he's bringing up is voice acting. Like,
which is weird, because plenty of people, when they criticize English voice actors for doing a bad job, they also criticize the localizers. They also criticize the people above them who didn't nix something that would have obviously gone over poorly. So it's like that's also just a non-issue. Like, he doesn't understand what people are angry about.
Right. And I think that's the thing we're going to see here, is that he's very out of touch with what people are actually upset about. It's not the voice actors.
Maybe the writer who wrote that line wanted it delivered in this particular way, and the stage direction specified this particular line delivery. Maybe the recording equipment at the voice studio went down, and the only take they managed to get was this first one that was done just to set the tone, and they were just kind of out of time and stuck with it. So if you go and you start attacking the voice actor for a line delivery you don't like, it might not be them at all. It might be something else.
I wish he'd provide examples of this.
I wish he'd provide examples of this too, because this is like the weakest fucking opening when you're talking about cruelty and harm.
I agree. I think this is, I 100%, I think that's a great way to say it. It's really fucking weak.
See, it might not be the line delivery at all. Maybe the problem was the writing. So should you go attack the writer?
Yeah.
Well, no, because why was the line written in this way? Was it written this way because the writer had a specific thing they were trying to say? Maybe. Maybe it was written this way because there was incredibly tight time pressures due to other externalities on their time. Maybe the direction of the game changed radically 3 months ago, and they had to rewrite this entire character in just 3 months. And
Man.
you're just getting...
Time crunch is not responsible for people changing a line from like, oh, that was so terrible to, yo, skibbity, that shit was whack, man. like what does he mean by that? Like, there's so many examples, like, all over Twitter, especially from people who both speak English and Japanese, showing the difference between what the original text was and what the localized text was. And if you're talking about just Western studios and you're removing localizers altogether, then these people are just really shitty at writing scripts if that's what people are dogging on, man.
So he goes, that's my favorite thing about this, is the idea that if you don't like if you don't like a script, then don't blame the writer. It's like, he's saying nobody's at fault. Who the fuck would you blame if you don't blame the writer?
It's even worse than that. He's like, oh no, you can't blame the people. It's the time crunch. And like, if they had like so little time that they took like a test of a voice actor and then they just used that as the final product, I would absolutely tell the studio, like, no, all of you fucked up here. Like, why would you let that go to, you know, like, live, right? Like, why would you do that? And like, even some studios, if they're too small, if they don't have enough money to hire more voice actors, they might use people in studio and be like, hey, we're gonna get actual voice actors to do these lines later. They're just a placeholder. But the fact that like they're communicating that it's a placeholder, people are like, oh, okay, yeah, we can understand that. It's not a big deal.
And that's the thing I want people to think of when they're listening and watching this, is this all comes down to communication. It comes down to transparency and communication. If there was a time crunch, then fucking tell your audience, right? This pull back the fucking curtain and be more transparent with your audience as to what's going on. Guess what? They'll appreciate it. They want to be a part of the process. But no, once again, you plebes, you idiots. What are you talking about? Let's continue.
Being the first draft of that writing. Maybe the lead writer wanted this character to be in a specific way, and it constrained what the writer was able to do while they were writing this character. Maybe the creative director on the project had specific goals that they had in mind, and they were pushing the writing in a particular way, or restricting how much leeway the writers had in order to express their vision on what the game was able to do or be. Maybe the executive producer, all of these people reporting up into the executive producer, decided that this game should be different in tone and was pushing the game direction in a different way. Or maybe the leadership of this project changed 6 times and the direction changed 6 times, and you're getting little bits of writing from each of these different directions, and there was never adequate time to step back and rewrite it. Maybe the CEO of the entire company...
Do you think that's... Okay, do you think this is what happened? Like, let's just talk about Velgard, the last game that he worked on. Do you think that's what happened? Like, really? Do you think that's what happened when they said, so I'm non-binary?
I definitely don't think there was enough restricting on what they wanted to do in the game. And I feel like if they had a director who actually like understood what consumers wanted, he would have been like, yeah, no, you guys can't put this in the game. This is not something we want to be having. You need to change this complete nonsense of a character. And I think I want to point out it's really ironic that he's wearing a shirt that says spite on it, because that seems to be all he has for his consumer base.
You're not wrong. Let's continue.
Really wanted his nephew to be hired as a script consultant. And this guy with literally 0 experience was coming in and pushing for mandatory changes to the project. How realistic are all the things like
I love that he mentioned that, because that is the least self-aware thing coming from a developer when their industry has so much of that. But usually those people coming in, like Kim Belair in Sweet Baby Inc. had said, you know, you got to go to the marketing director, you got to just terrify them. You talked about how you got to hire your friends, because even if they don't know what to do in the industry, you can get them in a job, they can learn how to do it, and then they'll already be in there. They're hiring all these ideological acolytes, and they're spreading around their friends, and that is what is killing these games. And it's like he just... I guess he still has it in his mind that it's like some white guy hiring his privileged rich nephew or some shit. And it's like, that's not... Like, maybe that still happens occasionally, but it's not the privileged white guy with a rich uncle working for Microsoft who's pushing ideology in these games.
No, It's not. You are correct. You hire your friends and keep it going. Keep the ideology going. Let's continue.
As I just said, some of them are incredibly realistic. Some of them not so realistic, but I've seen things that look an awful lot like all of the things I just said. So when you decided to personally attack that one specific person on social media, how certain are you that it was their fault, that they are responsible for that thing that you don't like?
Let me tell you why. Because their name was in the credits next to writer or whatever it is. And if the job, if it was poorly written or if it was poorly animated or pick whatever part of the process you want, if your job and that is your title, then it is assumed that you're going to do your job well. That's why.
Very much so. And that ties into his previous point of like hiring friends, but he's not self-aware enough to realize exactly whose friends are being hired and why that's the problem.
I'm going to tell you right now, you shouldn't be certain because you don't know exactly what was going on within the project.
You idiots. You
idiot gamers. You just
dummies.
don't understand.
All y'all are dumb, you idiots. You don't get it.
You don't know the exact circumstances that resulted in that thing you didn't like. Even people who were on the project aren't always going to be absolutely certain on who is responsible for something being exactly a particular way. These projects have hundreds of people on them. Content moves around between multiple people. Unless I am the person who is actually responsible for something being a certain way, that chain of custody isn't always going to be super obvious to me. And all of
I feel like as he's explaining this, I just think about, I don't know, a group of 10 friends with a hostage and they all pass around the gun.
Right.
And it's just like all of them are still culpable for the guy getting murdered. Like they were all there. And just some people might get a harsher charge than others. Like who exactly pulled the trigger? Who helped bury the body afterwards? Right? Like
I 100% agree. It just feels like they're constantly passing the blame here, right?
Yeah.
It's not their fault. It's not the writer's fault. It's not the game director's fault. It's
it can't even be the director's fault. It was time crunch.
Right. There were executives who were over there, and the executives, but even more, it was the CEO. The CEO came down and he hired his kid, and
it's like they feel entitled to both our money, our praise, and then also like their jobs. And it's like you're not entitled to keep your job if you do it poorly. And it feels like that mentality is just rampant in this industry.
Let's go continue because it gets better.
Well, this isn't to say that you aren't allowed to have your own opinions, to not like the things you don't like. It's specifically to point out that you being angry at a specific person, you attacking a specific person, is often misdirected. If you feel like you're just not getting the satisfaction from yelling at a corporate Twitter channel or yelling at the studio directly, if you feel like you need to focus it down onto an actual human being, I mean, that's really sad. I'm sorry. That's very sad. And hopefully you can grow beyond that. But I will give you a couple of outlets.
I hate that argument. The like, oh, I am just so much better than you are because you feel the need to attack a human being with your thoughts and opinions on social media. How could you?
Yeah, it's the holier than thou. Look it out. I'm so sorry. You're so pathetic.
You're just a filthy dumb gamer. Now pay me $70, you pleb.
Right. I'm so sorry that you don't understand the art that we are producing here and the extreme measures that go under here as we are handed free snacks every day when we go in and like, fuck off. You like, where's Bill Maher when you need him? Where
actually insane, man.
Like it's
fuck off, you oversensitive little shit.
Thank you, Bill. There he is. Let's continue because I'm sure this will reach a boiling point here.
If you need to complain at a human being, I'm going to say you don't get to go lower than the first person in the credits. You can go higher than that, but no lower than that. The first person in the credits is the person who was, theoretically at least, in charge of the project. They are the person where at least some of the responsibility is going to lie. Now, Did they have full control over what was going on in the project? No, because you could still have the CEO of the company forcing them to use his stupid nephew as a script consultant. But at the very least, they were in charge of the project for a somewhat significant percentage of the time.
So what do you think of that? The idea that you should, hey, don't punch down. You know, keeping in mind
I hate the punching down argument because it's like it removes agency from these people, which also removes accountability from them. And so it's like, oh, just because these people weren't the director, that means you can't criticize them for any of the poor jobs that they did writing the script or doing the voice acting or having any effect on like story direction or the graphics or the character models or the censorship of things. Like, you can't criticize any of those people because they're lesser than just the director. And even the director you shouldn't really criticize that much because, like, yeah, it's time crunch maybe.
Well, he already moved the goalpost here. Remember, he was saying, don't reach out to people. Like 30 seconds ago, he was saying, if you have to talk to people, if you have to reach out to people, actual people, then aren't you sad?
Yeah.
You know, and now he's saying, but if you're gonna do that, but if you're
gonna be a sad, pathetic little pleb,
right. Make sure to do it to the first guy you see. They, them, you see.
So if you are mad about Anthem and we look at the credits, no shit, that's me. But yeah, if you feel like you need to yell at somebody for the way that Anthem is, it's much better to be yelling at someone like me, who was theoretically in charge of the project, or at least in charge of the project.
Fetish?
What's that?
Do you think he's like, please yell at me for this because I jerk off in the dark when you criticize my game?
He's over here. He's spreading his legs and wanting you to step on his.
He has to run his ideas by his wife's boyfriend first.
Oh my god!
Or some of the development time, then yelling at someone who was working on the combat or the level design or whatever. Because again, you don't know exactly what their reality was. When I was an executive producer, I got paid pretty well. And to some degree, from my perspective, some of that compensation was to act as a lightning rod for this negative discourse. It's one of the reasons why I think it is an executive producer's responsibility to have a social media presence. Because some of you, if you're still watching, will play a game and be angry about it and need to yell at a human being.
I think you need to be like, he's not even addressing the root problem here, right? Why are people upset? People just don't play and they go, I'm mad now, right? They get mad because of something. They're mad because they spent the money that they worked hard to get on the product for something that they were excited about. The product underwhelmed them to the point to where not just they're sad or disappointed, they're angry about it, right? You move past the idea of, well, that sucks, to I'm pissed that I invested my money in this. So like, you're not even addressing the root problem here, that you made a fucking dog shit product that people aren't into, right? That went past the point of apathy to the point of anger. That's not even addressed here one bit.
Absolutely. And he's doing the like appeal to emotion manipulation thing of like, just shut up, consume our slop, you know, let us push our propaganda in these games because our ideology is the good one. We're on the right side of history. You bigoted, racist gamers don't understand what you're talking about. You're criticizing the wrong things, and that's why you're being cruel and you're harassing people on social media, and you shouldn't be doing that. So, like, just let us keep doing this. Just shut up and sit down, consume it, and let us control the younger generations to create the modern audience we desire.
Let's go ahead and I bumped this up to time and a half.
Hell yeah.
It was at 1.25. Let's continue.
And I think one of the executive producer's responsibilities is to protect his team. And
there we go. I want to point that out really quick. He just said, I think one of the jobs is to protect your team. Look at his Twitter account. Part of a leader's job is to protect their people. That's what he thinks he's doing by this video.
And I actually read an article on this the other day on my stream, talking about how, like, companies need to do more to protect their DEI practitioners. And they're like, companies are protecting themselves from these lawsuits, but what about the individual practitioners of DEI. They need their companies to protect them from all this backlash, from these lawsuits, from people criticizing their ideas. And even though he hasn't acknowledged ideology in this video, we all know that's what he's talking about. He's not feigning ignorance here. He knows what he's trying to obfuscate.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's amazing to watch and to see kind of the finger pointing. That it's the finger pointing at everybody while still being at nobody, which is crazy. Let's continue.
Part of protecting his team is providing that lightning rod. If you don't provide that lightning rod, then people who need to vent are going to find places to vent. We live in a social media world. Many people have some form of social media presence. If you, as the most senior person on the project, don't have a social media presence, then people are going to go and find someone else. Someone who isn't paid as well as you, someone who doesn't necessarily have the tools to protect themselves from the toxicity that is leveled at them. I would say again that you shouldn't be targeting people directly, even the executive producer. But you know what? If you feel the need, the higher up in the organization you go, the more I'm going to say have at her. As you get beyond the executive.
He just said you shouldn't do it, and then he's like, "Well, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing that the
cognitive dissonance is strong."
Yes. Oh my God. It's crazy. Oh, sorry.
Executive producer, and you get up into studio leadership and group leadership and the C-suite and the person in charge of the entire corporation. They share responsibility in the game you don't like being the way that it is. So if you feel the need to yell at them, again, probably don't, but they're big boys and girls, so they should be able to handle it.
Everybody is a fucking adult, dude.
Yes, everyone here is an adult. It is. I don't even know what more can be said, like harping on this point.
Oh my God. I feel like, okay, he's almost to the end here. So
yeah. Let's see if he does anything else crazy.
Like, they're all fucking big boys and big girls. They're all working. They're all making a shit ton of money. Like, if you're working in California, you're making 6 figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, fuck off with this shit. This is insane.
The reality is most of those people do not have a social media presence, do not have a way that you can yell at them directly. So a lot of times what I'm telling you is the least senior person you're allowed to yell at is the executive producer. And a lot of times the most senior person you're going to be able to yell at is the executive producer. So once again, the executive producer serves as a lightning rod for all this vitriol. If you feel like you're not being listened to when you complain on Metacritic or you complain on the forums of a studio or you complain into the social media channels of the publisher or the studio, be aware that this stuff is carefully scrutinized, not just by the social media teams, also by the teams themselves.
Of course.
Yeah, I just don't believe you.
Right.
I don't believe that you're looking at these criticisms and being like, oh yeah, maybe we should do something about it. I believe they're looking at the criticisms and being like, these disgusting gamers, how dare they criticize us? They just don't understand what we're doing.
And this is where it goes. There's a difference between hearing and listening. They may be hearing it, but they're not listening. I say this all the time. If they were listening, then they just pass over. If he's hearing this, he doesn't have to make this video, and he realizes what's going on, and he realizes that why people are upset. And they're not hearing, they're only listening. That's the issue.
Or like what these people do is they farm the victim points to try and get people to feel bad for them, and they're just like, oh, we're just the poor little game developers. You have to buy our game. We're being attacked. We're under attack by the gamers.
Yes, always so many gamers. One thing, he's talked about how you shouldn't attack people, right? You should don't be so aggressive. Stop attacking people.
But he's only talked about public comments. He hasn't talked about like actual attacking and harassing.
Right. But you know what he hasn't discussed yet? How do you express your dissatisfaction? He hasn't provided one alternative yet that he deems okay to on how you as the dissatisfied customer should react. And
he spends the whole time like weasel wording around like, oh, it's your right to be angry and it's your right to criticize, but like you can't do it in any of these ways. But I mean, if you have to, then lightning rod the director. Like if you're really that sad and pathetic, but like don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, let's finish.
Arguably, in a lot of cases, to too great of a degree. The team is listening, I would say, often too much to what you are yelling about and complaining about in these.
Oh boy, the reaction.
yeah, I just wanted to laugh at that because that's ridiculous. You can keep playing.
Channels. But don't worry, you don't need to go onto their Twitter channel and yell at them directly because they're going to hear it anyway. Be a human being, have some empathy, and stop being cruel. Stop throwing a party because a bunch of people lost their jobs because you don't know the circumstances that resulted in the thing that you're mad at.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We know that the game that they produced that people were looking forward to didn't sell well.
I love how all of these people are antagonistic to those who would buy their product. They do nothing but insult and like try to do like again, like the Sweet Baby people. They went in and they tried to like get Kabrutus's Steam account taken away. Like they're not developers, but they were protecting developers. So it's just like you do all this crazy shit and then you want to turn around and be like, have some empathy. It's like, no, fuck you, guy.
Just have some empathy for these poor developers making tons of money and getting great bonuses and working cush jobs and working from home and complaining about having to go back into the office.
I was like, no, I will throw a party.
Right. You know, it's funny. I saw this post and I just want to pull up this tweet really quick. There was the PC gamer was like, we saw this tweet earlier. I just said, hey, no one's celebrating, but we're not celebrating. Like the industry needs to be doged for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I think is what we're starting to see.
People deserve some grace. People deserve some empathy from you. And if you can't provide that, then stay off the internet completely. One last time for the cheap seats, you are entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to be angry about a game that you bought. You paid good money for it. But try to remember that it's just a game. Even more importantly, when you are...
I have, like... Okay.
If it's just a game, then why was it so important for you guys to fuck everything up with pushing ideology instead of making a good product? Like, again, this is just trying to shut you up, make you stop noticing, and so they can keep doing what they're doing and create that modern audience. They want you to stop.
It's not just a game. You're dealing with people's livelihoods. People go into this every day. People wake up every day, they think about these games, and they still fuck it up because they're not listening to the 80% of people who just want good, fun fucking games that don't want shit shoehorned into them. That's it. It's not fucking hard. Oh my God. Sorry.
Pressing your complaints. Stay away from cruelty. Stay away from targeting individual people. Stay away from trying to cause harm. Stay away from celebrating harm done to actual human beings. Express your opinion to the company that made your game. Tell them what you like. Tell them what you don't like. Be specific. It will help you get games that are more like what you want. But when you are personally attacking individual devs, you are crossing a line. And you're probably attacking the wrong person anyway. A special thanks to my members.
Okay. Let's decompress this really fast. One thing that was not put out there at one time in this video, once again, is how do you express your dissatisfaction? I know we talked about, he said, tell the company. Yeah, okay, well,
how?
People are at the company, right? And then you're going to see that as causing harm. Okay, what is harm? Is that mental harm? Is it physical harm? I don't think I've ever seen a story of somebody walking up and beating up a developer because they didn't like their game, right? All you're talking about is the fees. My feelings got hurt because somebody said they didn't like my game or they didn't like my writing or they didn't like whatever, you know, and that's what this comes down to for me is it comes down to feelings. My feelings are hurt. That's what it always comes down to with these people. What do you got, Kirsche?
It's just, I'm tired of these people putting themselves up on a pedestal, thinking that, you know, they're someone who deserves all of this shit from people that they denigrate regularly. It's like, we didn't start attacking you. You came in and started destroying our hobby, destroying IPs that we loved, repurposing things. Like, we have all these games that are like, oh, from the studio that brought you these amazing games you loved a decade ago. And then it's just fucking ideological slop. Like, you don't care about making games. You don't care about the gamers who play them. You care about pushing your ideology and using this industry as a vehicle for that. And it's like, you can't admit that, because as soon as you admit that, like, you give all of us criticizing you the like recognition that you don't want us to have. So you keep trying to weasel word your way around these things, but it's like even people who didn't know what was going on a decade ago are noticing now and are fed up with it.
What's amazing here is actually the response to the video as well. You see him here in the comments says, welcome. He says, if you're coming here from your favorite streamer, I guess Asmongold reacted to this as well. Says, can you at least watch a bit of the video before pushing the thumbs up, thumbs down, and thumbs down and leaving a comment? Well, we've watched the entire thing. Says, I'd recommend watching the bits the streamer jumped over. We didn't jump over a damn thing. And he says, like, the comments in here are fascinating.
I want to see his reply to that one by Mr. Miked.
Right. He says, I guess devs can be cruel for years, and the second it happens back to them, the gamers are the bad guys, and the devs are all of a sudden the victim, right? He responded, said, ideally, we would see decorum from everyone, right?
Okay, well, then why didn't he talk about the developers who do that in his video? The voice actors who do that in his video? That was his opening point. Like, it's insane to me how out of touch he is.
You have never once called out your colleagues for their cruelty. Nope. Of course he hasn't, right? Because
so he just contradicted himself then, right? Because like above, he was like, ideally we'd see decorum from both sides, and someone's like, well, why didn't you call out, your colleagues who participate in this? And he's like, nope. Like, what? This guy is just a hypocrite in human skin.
Don't ask questions, just consume product and wait for the next product. That's right. Watch the video just like something. Well, listen, we've watched it in entirety. We're still going to give it a thumbs down here. The comments are amazing. Studios attack the gamers. Gamers retaliate. Studios Pikachu face. Watch the video.
Oh my god, he's just copy pasting.
Just copy and pasting at this point, exactly. To see.
This is something that you experience as a content creator as well. Like when people attack you for something and then you defend yourself because they're either wrong or being a schizophrenic, right? So like you get attacked and then you defend yourself from it, and everyone's like, oh, why are you causing drama? Why are you doing this? Why are you attacking them? And it's like, I'm not. I'm defending myself, and defending myself is not drama.
Right. You can see him here. Express your dislike, but express it the correct places. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, where's the correct place, sir? Right.
Would it be in YouTube videos? Am I attacking you personally? Put the fries in the bag, bro. Nah. Right. This is so like I say this fucking a dozen times a week. It seems like I've never seen an industry so disconnected from its audience.
I mean, Hollywood, but this is kind of like a microcosm of that, right? Like all entertainment seems incredibly disconnected from the people who consume it now. Like Netflix, again, they ruin everything. Amazon ruins everything they touch. Movies that come out, like for the most part, like there's some good ones, but for the most part, the directors and the actors seem out of touch with what people want. Like you see all these like actors in TV shows give interviews and they talk about, all of the toxic fans. And it's like, it's not toxic to not want IPs that we loved to get fucked up. Like, I don't like cape shit, right? But I feel bad for people who like comic books, who like stuff like Marvel and DC, have to watch the things that they enjoy to get completely co-opted and crushed into dust.
In the comments over on X, even Notch chimed in, says, oh no, someone got their feelings hurt on the internet? Great reporting, helps a lot.
I love Notch because he does nothing and he just keeps winning.
Yeah. You hit first, we're entitled to hit back, right? And that's the thing. People feel this way. This is exactly how people feel. They feel like they've been beaten over the head with this nonsense.
Defending yourself is not being the attacker. And they keep trying to, like the Darvo thing, right? They try to reverse the victim and the abuser. They're the ones who came in and broke our toys. They're the ones who came in and insulted us and denigrated us and started saying, gamers are over. This isn't for you. But gaming's for everyone, just not you. Like, they came in here and did all of this. And us fighting back, right? Like, the immune system doing what it's supposed to do to root out the fucking cancer is not us attacking them.
See this here. This guy got fired. He was one of the dudes who was a writer over at Dragon Age Veilguard here. Like, what a fucking asshole thing to say. You don't own gaming. You don't own fantasy. Somewhere along the way, they outgrew you, and some of us grew along with them. Our table holds a lot more than yours. And nah, dude, like, this guy's right. You lost. They fucking lost. So, absolutely insane. So, wow. Nuts. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go and the comments on this are just amazing. I mean, they truly are. And you know, Disparu says for years we had cancel mobs destroy good people for everything from their opinions to a shirt that had hot women on it. That's not what this is. This is incompetent people getting fired for doing bad work. They made a bad product nobody wanted. They could have listened. 100%.
They could have listened, but it's like, again, they're not going to, because they feel like what they're doing is the right thing, is the correct thing. They're building and changing the current culture to what they want it to be. They're moving it to their ideology. And again, like with all the modern audience stuff, I keep harping on it. Modern audience doesn't exist, and like laughing at them for, you know, being silly and making all this shit that no one's buying is fine, but the modern audience doesn't exist. It's what they want to create with the newer generations. You always have to target the young generations for what your propaganda is, because they're going to be the ones who will grow up believing in it the most. It's too hard to change our opinions. We're too old for that.
We're too old for that. I gotta wear glasses. I gotta wear glasses and look at the screen and do this, right, Blabs?
Yes.
Always great for commentary, Blabs. Awesome. Yes. All right, we're gonna read every super 10 and over, but and just know if you came in with something less than that, just know that we see it, we acknowledge it, we appreciate it greatly. And without that, without your support, we can't do what we do on a day-to-day basis. But in the interest of Kirsche's time, we want to value her time and let her also know that we did get to, actually, we got to 2 extra Montezes. So let's freaking go. So let's go. We previously visited, where did we go? Super Mario Brothers last time? Is that what we went to last time? Where'd you pick before, Kirsche?
You picked Mario.
You picked Mario?
We picked Mushroom Kingdom.
All right. You can go to Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, The Moon, or Dustborn. We have 2 to pick from.
Let's do The Moon.
All right, let's start there.
Bitch! Montez!
Montez!
And
let's go to Mortal Kombat.
Round 1. Fight.
Bitch! Montez!
Fatality.
Tell you what, man. Listen, we're working on something behind the scenes, a show here that is, it's going to be a side scroller show, but not like a podcast. We're working on a show here, and if you love fatalities, you're gonna fucking love this show. It's great for sure. So, all right. Let's stinking go. We got a lot of supers to get to, so I'm going to attempt to read some of them. Let's start with these massive 20s. First one from Speedy Cake says, Yo, Craig, I was watching It's a Gundam stream earlier today, and he jumbled words almost as bad as you do. Also, don't make the glasses, Craig. Also, don't mind the glasses, Craig. At least, after all, at least you didn't pick the Dahmer frames by accident like I did.
True.
Fucking weird.
Papa Gundam got to get me some of them good vitamins, man.
Daniel came in and says, thief by deception. As long as we have your money, cry quietly. Don't harass the people that stole your money. Speedy K came back and says, hey, Kirsche, have you shown Craig and Blabs your $6.90 Streamlabs alert yet? If not, please do it.
When Tucker Carlson was giving some sort of speech, I don't even remember what he was doing, but it was before the inauguration. And he was talking about how, oh, daddy's home and you've been a bad girl and daddy's going to give you a vigorous spanking. I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I have heard out of like a conservative newscaster's mouth. And so I'm going to turn it into alert.
Nice.
That's awesome. Sigrun came in and says, if I play a game and it's clear that the people who made the game hate me, hate the things I love, and hate people like me, and it shows, then I will not give them any charity, benefit of the doubt, or business to them.
Exactly.
It's pretty simple right there. Risk Videos says people paid $70 for entertainment. If they can't get it from the product, then they get it from the Schadenfreude. Okay, what does that mean?
It's like how do I explain this? Like you feel good about bad things happening to someone.
Okay. Yeah. Seeing the studios employed, you get fired for doing a bad job. It should apply to everyone. As simple as it's right. I agree. See, Thomas came back, says they insult us, mock our hobby, vandalize our joys, and even brag about it, then cry when we respond and are apathetic to their misfortune. Guy is peak delusion. I think that's what I'm going to title that video. This guy is peak delusion. Congratulations. Peak delusion. Blabs, let's go continue here real quick. Do we have any of these specifically for Kirsche?
I'd have to scroll. I was multitasking. I've been working this entire time. I don't see specifically, but we'll just start from the top. All right, here we go. Wondering if Kirsche was tempted to use one of her new models for this. Fans made like 6 of her.
I was intending to fix some of the rigging on Monday, but I didn't get a chance to. I was busy the entire day, so I got to do that still. Didn't want to have like the janky eyeballs from my own messing up. But yeah, my audience made me a whole bunch of fan models over the past like half a year or so, and I showed them off on Valentine's Day because I've been trying to get a new model for my like normal design, like my regular outfit, since 2020, and I've been struggling with artists, so. My fans made me some very cute models, and I love them.
It's awesome.
Okay, definitely not a gator. I bet you're a crocodile. So simple man, see Foxu, donate money. Sorry for disrupting last time with the government cheese vaults. At least I didn't mention the University of Tennessee's Body Farm.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
We're just gonna go past. Thank you. Spider says, "What's up, sites growers and love ya, Foxu Cortez."
Montez.
Yeah, not Cortez. Silo says, I heard the original deal was supposed to be 50-50 between MGM and Broccoli's, but Amazon seems to like ruining nice things. People forget that James Bond Institution is just like The Simpsons. Mystic says, I got up early for the Foxu. Love the Foxu. Also, I remember Crackdown. I thought it was a fun game. Kirsche will teach you all the curse knowledge.
I will. That's my job.
Yes. Amenthi says, don't put Twinkies in your pizza or on your pizza. Ew, that's nasty. No, thank you. The Rise says birth control is only 99.9% effective. She had 1,000 dudes and math lines up. It does.
That's true. I'm going to go to this one real quick. It says you should ask Kirsche about her Colombian donkey tradition discovery.
It's a lore thing I reference occasionally. I found it out in like 2023, I think, and that clip just went up on my channel recently. Colombia has a coming of age tradition. So when you are a young male, around 12 or 13, you become a man when you have sex with your first donkey, and you're allowed to have as much sex with donkeys as you desire until you get a wife, and then it's your wife's job to make sure you no longer fuck donkeys. Vice did an entire documentary on it. They had to censor the donkey penises.
Wait. Daniel came in with the 20. Says China and Korea want to make American dollars. America wants to make gays. I support China while waiting to support America or wanting to support America.
I don't really like the support China thing, and I kind of gave a TLDR on this on my own stream recently, where it's like the entire Black Myth Wukong thing, like maybe it's a good game, I haven't played it, but everyone was praising them for like, not getting extorted by Sweet Baby, and it's like that had no proof, there was no source. The only guy talking about it was some guy that was, is known for posting fake news on the Chinese equivalent of Facebook. So like, why would you take that at face value? And obviously the developers were able to run with that and use it as good PR, especially because at the same time, they were being attacked by journalists, mistranslating things and attributing things to them that they didn't actually say. And so it was very easy PR. But like, I don't trust China either, because even if they're giving us like what we want to see from Western developers right now, they're eventually going to start subtly pushing their things in. And the Chinese communists are much better at what they do than the Western Marxists, who are very bonk you over the head. They can't be subtle about it, right?
Spastic came in and says, I'm paying for making this guy disappear on stream. Montez! Oh, sorry.
Montez!
Then we had Skip came in and says, these guys' eyes are looking in 2 different time zones. That's fucked up, Skip. You're so cruel, Skip. You're so cruel. Daniel came in, says Anthem is like sending a woman a picture of 10 inches and giving her 4, but you got the money already. Oh my God, Daniel, it's crazy. Tenarian says, since Anime Girl is back, what's the most anime thing that's ever happened to you guys? I've had a girl fall boobs first into my face on a flight of stairs, got a black eye from a girl's butt hitting me in the face, and I got a nosebleed playing Stellar Blade. Tenarian. Sounds like you've had quite the experience, friend.
How do you get a nosebleed playing Stellar Blade?
How do you get a black eye from a girl's butt hitting you in the face?
She had a badonker, I guess.
Badunkadunk. God hates taxes. Oh, by the way, do you guys have any crazy anime IRL experiences? I've never, had any of that stuff happen to me, but
I can't say I've ever gotten a black eye from a woman's ass. Can't say it.
I am clumsy as fuck, so I trip a lot, which is ironic because I was perfectly fine on rollerblades, but walking, I guess I'm just, incapable. And so sometimes when I would fall, I would like catch my tits on like the countertop occasionally. Like I'd have, a friend with me and they would just like reach out and grab me and it would just happen to, fall on my chest. And this was such a frequent occurrence. My friend drew a picture of me falling and tripping over a cat and like my boobs making SFX noises from my fall. And then my dad had that magnetized to the fridge for like 5 years.
Wow. Man, the stories we hear, I'll tell you what, I love it. I love it. That's spectacular. God hates taxes came into the tin, says these devices that complain don't know the difference between cruelty and criticism, and then wonder why they get fired for is infuriating. Anyways, blessed be Kirsche, the based Bobs of Quime and collector of cursed tabs.
On the Crime Bobs!
All right.
You guys need to play that game.
What game?
Crime Boss, Rock A City.
I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah, I have a special little link. So like when people buy the game through my link, I get a portion of the sales profit.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Abdulio says this reminds me of the video Tim Kaine made, the original creator Fallout on his YouTube channel, titles "Gamers Don't Know What They Want." It might be worth checking out in the future. Yeah, that's good stuff. Maybe we'll check that out. I'll put that in my notes here while Blabs moves on to the next super chat here.
You okay, Craig? You can't even say my name now.
Blabs. You gotta put this in my notes. By the way, we're running up on 2 hours right here. Let's.
I mean, I'm fine sticking around. I don't got anywhere to be.
Let's go. I love it.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're good. I want to honor your time. So.
Rary says, can you believe the girl on the left is 20? She looks 40. I don't know how you accelerate geriatric doing the sideways tango, but I guess anything is possible.
Geriatric, and it's like every dick that enters you age. That's why, the women don't hit the wall. It's just depending on how much dick they take.
Is that right? Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Oh, okay.
Winston says, okay, not to sound like a consumer, but I was born after Crystal Pepsi ended. I was so excited when it made its return in 2014. I still remember where I was when I found out. Literally the best soda. Thanks. Max says, the Switch is the only physical media worth anything now due to day one patch mentality. Imagine trying to play Fallout 4 on console when patch servers go offline. Switch games 1.0 generally work. Thank you. Speedy says, saw a Monster Energy infused inhaler earlier, Kirsche, so I chucked it in the SFW memes channel on Discord.
I could not imagine inhaling Monster Energy.
Oh, gross.
Raptor says, so now Amazon has Tomb Raider and James Bond. I have yet to do anything with Lara Croft, so hopefully they won't do anything with Bond. Montez! Daniel Craig era tried to have continuity with its movies, and it proved that you couldn't do it with Bond, and Amazon already proved that they can't do it with Rings of Power. # Rick Bond.
Hey, real quick, Abdulio, is this the video that you're speaking of by Timothy Kane? It says, do gamers know what they like? I want to make sure that, because I think this is one of those, this would be an interesting video to check out for sure. Is this the video you're speaking of? And is this the guy? Because I would love to check that out. It sounds like a video right up my aisle. So fire away, Blabs.
Speedy Cake says, last before I sleep, hey Craig, any thoughts on a Montez Yoshi's Island or Kirby in Hell for some new Montez finishers? Okay, I screen grabbed this. I sent to Phoenix. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We're definitely gonna, like, right now we're working on stuff behind the scenes. Once we get through and we launch this new show, which we'll tell you guys about coming up on March 3rd, we will work on assets for side scrollers.
Alrighty, sent to Phoenix. All done. Okay, Daniel says, watch an Asmin preview. Don't like it, don't buy it. Monster Hunter next week. That's right. Aaron says, these are the same people celebrate owning the chuds. Thank you for the 10. Says, if I tell you I'm selling you fresh milk and instead sell you spoiled milk, should I stay in business? No.
No.
Burnt sausage, oh my. None of those losers' arguments matter. At the end of the day, it'll still be short $70 for a subpar product. Make a better game. Some random guy. Nice that the Bioware dev didn't disable the comments section of the video. He's getting destroyed and I love it. Yeah, props for him. He's taking the comments.
Taking it on the chin, yeah.
Anthony says, time crunch is BS. Xenogears is one of the best games of all time. Had a massive time crunch, mainly due to director, hence the second disc, yet it turned out amazing.
That's true.
Xenix says, as a professional, none of this is an excuse. Everyone is responsible for the final product. It's your job as a professional to make it work. It's not the consumer's job to accept your incompetency. Omaha says, this game dev and those like him want zero responsibility and zero ownership for their choices, especially bad ones. Soul Services, congratulations! You just convinced your customers to wish nothing more than video game industry to crash and burn, and they will feel only apathy as everything you make falls down on you.
I think I think that's a bigger part of that video. Is this guy goes out and he is speaking for the industry. This is a guy who was he ran. He was the #1 guy on the credits for Anthem, right? So he has been what people would say in a position of power. So when he speaks, he's representing the industry. So in theory, what he's saying is in a direct response to gamers on behalf of the industry. And this message has been rejected in a major way.
Circle! When I'm weaker than you, I ask you for freedom because that is according to your principles. When I'm stronger than you, I take away your freedom because that is according to my principles. The Schwartz Krieg says they are all at fault because none of them stood up and said no publicly or privately to those terrible decisions. It's sad that the developers who've left the industry won't admit to why they left also. Seagrin says, someone does the work, their superior signs off on that. Then the next person on the ladder signs off on that, and then so on until the product gets released. As far as I'm concerned, sink the ship. Sergey says, I know exactly what the cruelty line is. It's the line of someone else pointing out that they did a piss poor job and now it affects the reward for it. It's the line of being a sore loser.
Correct.
Omaha says, Dower says producers are there to protect their people. As the leaders, why aren't they protecting their people from decisions which create these garbage games? Fair point. Stay-at-home Hippo says, if the director or leader of a project allow his or her employees to attack consumers and act like a child, the dev failed at their job. To put blame on players shows guys ineptitude at leadership. And Nelson says, by all means, Western game devs, continue to learn nothing while your competition in the East continue to provide what gamers want until you get your head out of your rear. My wallet remains closed. Thank you very much, and we're caught up.
John Kanji says, Kirsche, who built the pyramids?
Slaves!
Who built the Parthenon?
Slaves!
Built America?
Slaves!
Thus is your song, thank you.
It's from Wonder Shows. It's a great song.
Okay. And that was for $100, Blabs. That is outstanding. Thank you so much.
That is my slaves
John.
alert.
Wow.
Thank you, slaves.
Wow. Okay. Denarian came in and says, how I got the black eye. It was snowy and we were sliding down a hill. I went first, got to the bottom of the hill, turned around, and got a face full of butt. There you go, Denarian. And now we know. By the way, a quick update on that video's like to dislike ratio. When I first looked at it, it was like 1,000 to 1,300, right? Now it's 1,000 to almost 2,000 dislikes. So this guy's starting to get the ratio will be swift and raw for sure. All right, guys, that is a great place to stop today. Kirsche, do you have anything going on you want to share with everybody?
I'm just streaming tomorrow, Tangent Friday, so we're gonna be going through a bunch of DEI articles. Cheryl Dijja, CEO of Bridge, has made an article herself in reference to Meta, so I'm excited to dig into that with people.
Wow.
But yeah, just streaming my normal times throughout the weekend, 3 p.m. Eastern to probably 8 p.m. I've been going overtime a lot recently because just yap maxing. So
Man,
just normal stuff.
That's what we do. We yap max here on Side Scrollers.
Absolutely.
All right, look, we want to encourage you guys, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate that. Of course, you can find Kirsche over on Twitch and on YouTube. Links to hers are down below. You can find Blabs, her YouTube channel. It's down there as well. You can find her stuff in She Talks Harry Potter and all sorts of good things. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Remember, I will not be here tomorrow. Blabs is going to be running the show. Who do we have on tomorrow, Blabs?
Melee K will be joining us, and so is Vera Dark, and we're already scheming on the document. Like, it's full of stuff, guys, so you really don't want to miss it.
Okay, so make sure you guys are here tomorrow. Support Blabs tomorrow. She's gonna be running the show till Tuesday. So I got to take care of some family stuff and we'll be out of town. So treat her right, like I know she will. She's gonna be riding, riding the ship or what is it, guiding the boat or whatever it is.
Crashing the Titanic, whatever.
That's right. Yeah, she made us guide it straight into a nice iceberg. We'll see. And yes, we have side scrolls hers tomorrow. So appreciate you guys popping in. You guys have a what's that, Blabs?
Full document.
We full docs.
It's huge, man.
Full. Hey guys, full documents tomorrow already.
Massive documents.
Hey, listen, Blabs. Don't promise this.
It's this big,
this.
bro. This big.
What's that, Blabs?
Nothing.
Okay. Have a great day, guys. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. See you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys back at it on Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.